次啦，真係落翻嚟3班跑1000，當然路程好似冇乜根據嘅，咁但係執到一檔。今次落嚟3班用個細路仔孭輕啲磅咧，比起響2班孭超輕磅咧係更加着數嘅。咁呢啲馬季內其實兜兜轉轉咧，佢都一再係曾經輸近過啊，咁但係只不過最近咧就總係出閘啊，有啲甩咳啊，前一次又應該放又唔放啊，咁啊總係咧好似冇乜表現咁嘅。咁但係今次啦，縮翻嚟跑呢樣1000咧，佢排個好嘅檔位咧，佢嘅競爭力咧係提升唔少嘅。
咁啊，針對呢樣嘢咧，我揀翻剩翻個對腳咧，都係出閘冇咁多甩咳，但係1000咧一定擺喺前面走嘅。咁當然啦，一定有啲缺點咧，就係佢哋嘅班數或者實力咧都見盡㗎啦。咁就係呢個嘅常山鳳寶啦，同埋精靈勇進啊。咁最奇怪就係呢個常山鳳寶，真係我都未見過，即係記憶上都冇試過閘咁滯嘅。最近走去試課閘咧，咁究竟會點咧？都要跑過先知啦。當然係，但係課閘真係試得唔錯。同埋呢組對手咧，如果你話佢有個4檔咧，佢就算早段啦，佢經常都係㗎。當佢 fit 翻嘅時候咧，佢排喺外碟2碟咧，唔係太怕嘅啫。咁翻到嚟咧，而家佢因為唔使再孭重磅，123磅嘅中磅嚟嘅啫。翻到嚟咧，鬥捱佢未必斷晒㗎，畢竟係呢個路程嘅專家，咁啊可以一試啦。咁剩翻精靈勇進啦，排個檔啊更好添，有個2檔啊，咁啊睇埋內檔1檔就係中國動力嚟㗎啦。因為中國動力咧對比呢啲精靈勇進咧，起碼起步嘅時候咧，通常都唔會快得過嘅。咁而精靈勇進咧，唯一就係話啦，贏4班有冇打搭咧，要考慮呢樣嘢啦。但係始終磅輕啦、檔靚啦，同埋呢個路程佢真係專家嚟啦。咁啊唔係寄望佢贏嘅。如果壓住3甲一直咧，呢啲馬拖腳咧都可以預埋佢嘅。
我揀完139之後咧，就楞咗去不明物體啦。咁就係初出嗰隻傲妙繽紛啦。我都講過10月中開操之後咧，未夠2個禮拜，方仔已經安排佢快跳啊，跟住好快又拍跳啊。其實功夫咧係明顯係比起佢一般處理嘅自購馬嘅手法咧係有啲唔同嘅。做咗2個大閘嚟跑嘅。咁啊頭先睇嗰個大閘啦，其實個走勢真係一啲都唔錯嘅。咁啊真係一啲都唔曳嘅。咁啊今次啦，用阿潘頓咧，我覺得個配搭咧都唔係話唔似樣㗎，排個3檔，佢應該可以跟得住前面嗰啲快馬嘅。咁啊連威威巨星都讓路走咗去跑嗰場田組直路賽，讓個位俾佢咧，我覺得佢排個幾好嘅檔位，始終都係不明啊。嚟香港之前都跑得少啊，咁所以咧都可以考慮楞翻佢㗎嚇。第3場睇過，跟住度埋第4場啦，第1號馬 T 嘅尾關嚟㗎，4班馬跑1800，睇下有咩 fit 馬。呢場 fit 馬就好多啦，好勻循㗎。2、3、5、6、7、8、9、10、11都係好狀態，
好均勢嘅呢場。好啦，精密房喺內檔啊，拍橫掃千軍同埋沙子，橫掃千軍喺中檔咧有份跑㗎。
係啦，咁啊呢度咧隻精密房好似落後咗嘅，咁但係見到呂卓賢響終點之後推2步咧，即刻就撲翻上嚟㗎。
你睇下呢
狀態就真係好 fit 㗎啦，不過就真係成日都贏唔到嘅。
希望今次得啦，用阿呂卓賢減多10磅啊！睇埋呢個添，星期日朝早嘅。
咁你睇埋姚本輝嗰度心意都係擺到明係想贏㗎啦，唔係點會用個10磅仔啫？12檔咯，殺埋你放啦，
唔使諗㗎啦。莫紀若同埋樂慈啊，2匹都有份跑㗎啦。咁啊莫紀若喺前邊嘅。
呢個莫紀若上一次起步啊論盡啦，咁啊因為入咗閘之後煩躁不安啊，叫佢等唔到喺前邊走啊，咁啊跟跑冇乜點樣用力嘅，隔咗日子好短㗎咋。專登安排佢響最後試跑落嚟撻個閘，程序係好似樣。
多風雨啦，咁啊呢課咧就星期日朝早。
唔係咁樣跑，復翻課唔使再快㗎啦。咁啊走起上嚟咧，好輕鬆啊隻馬，最近嘅狀態又係好好啊。
永勝多啦，呢課琴日朝早嘅。
馬就係老啲㗎啦，咁但係最近2場嘅表現其實佢都唔差㗎。上一次真係個檔位係比較被動啊，遇到個慢步速啊，真係追無可追。
唔好嚟追添啊嗰日。
狀態冇走樣㗎。
更之星啦，咁呢課咧就星期日朝早嘅，
仍然都係咁靚啊！呢隻馬，以往嗰4班佢都曾經係跑得好㗎，咁所以我覺得上嚟4班孭個輕磅咧都唔係話唔夠跑㗎，都係另外一隻實力馬嚟嘅。呢場賽事係幾平均㗎啦，但係計落形勢咧，嗰隻莫紀若應該會係幾賺嘅。季內曾經響谷草贏過呢個路程，當時就係排個好個檔位，一路跟住前邊前領嗰隻進威威咧，半步都冇試過㗎，翻到嚟就係咁樣咧。贏得到財源來，中間起欣賞開邊再追緊上嚟，仲有啲精乜嘅。咁啊，雖然呢一度咧，俾佢嘅財源來都威脅得幾犀利嘅，咁但係咧，終點之前咧，仍然都係頂住嘅。咁啊，跟住之後咧，表現咧，佢有時有啲反覆啊。佢當然都係唔係一隻好穩定嘅馬嚟嘅。咁上一次就更加啦，入咗閘之後又煩躁啊，咁啊起步一慢咗之後咧，佢等唔到喺比較前啲嘅位置咧，就好似冇乜心機跑咁㗎。咁但係冇乜心機跑啊，但係佢又冇乜用力喎。咁所以阿何良咧，急就再同佢報名跑呢場谷草1800，賽前亦都有好針對性咧，安排佢落草地同隻樂慈咧撻一課閘嘅，咁就係提醒呢隻馬起步反應唔好話咁論盡啦。今次咁嗰課閘咧起步嘅反應好好啊，沿路好主動咁樣一路咁樣領先到底嘅。咁今次執到個好檔，咁啊又係可以跟住前領嗰啲馬跑咧，形勢真係同佢贏馬嗰陣時咧 真係差唔多㗎。實力可能佢係咁上下，但係呢啲馬咧，佢一賺得到咧，你嗰啲主要對手要追咧，就未必追得到佢㗎。咁所以有啲賠率係可以搏下嘅。
咁當然你話睇翻啦，今季嚟講啦，馬房咧都係側重翻喺翻個谷草裏邊咧，就贏頭馬暫時贏咗10場。咁當然莫幾約啦，就已經係包辦其中一 win 嘅。咁但係睇翻佢前一次啦，喺翻呢一個田草嘅賽事，其實睇翻今次再對比翻呢一組嘅賽事，會唔會話好似當日嘅日賽咁樣啦？又係有少少形勢賺下。咁啊睇翻其實咧，因為始終你話今場咧就真係冇乜快馬喺度嘅，咁我自己覺得都係有翻個形勢之助嘅。
咁佢係其中一隻會擺前面走嘅馬已經好着數啦，因為真係唔多擺前面走嘅馬。咁呢場咧，除非入到直路之後個場地慢到咧，你擺前面走真係會散晒。即但係始終你跑到1800咧，同埋呢一組嘅馬咧，你太過後又唔係咁好嘅。另一匹馬精密房亦都係啦，一定擺前面走嘅。當然啦，成日都可以入到位置唔贏嘅馬嚟嘅，搏 win 咧，硬係好似有少少，成日都講，唉，真係嘥氣真係，又係跑第2嘅啫。咁但係總有機會贏到嘅，因為佢又唔係完全冇 win 嘅話，佢係2 win 11個第2啫，而家都係啊。畢竟季內咧2度咧俾人欣賞就殺退，咁冇辦法啦。咁欣賞今季真係好 fit，但係其實咧你睇翻上一場都好啦，比起欣賞過之後咧，後邊嗰財源來啊多風月土都係呢場跑啫，都追唔到佢嘅。咁嗰次咧，即係都係129磅，咁當然無思去放咧，同呂翠玲去放可能係兩個效果嚟。但係用呂翠玲咧最好啦，一執起咗10磅咧，你放快少少都唔怕嘅。早段攞出嚟之後咧，慢慢擺個位上大石斜坡之前咧，一揼嗰度回之後咧，呢馬咧因為佢入到嚟直路咧，仲有一定嘅後勁，冇咁易斷嘅。咁所以我覺得咧，贏咧通常都係㗎啦，佢俾一隻半隻就過咗嘅啫。咁但係 QT 膽咧，我覺得可以考慮，因為12檔咧。表面上就好似好不利，但係佢一定擺喺前面走嘅，莫幾樣唔會同佢爭住放，我相信。所以呢場賽事咧，佢控制到步速嘅機會應該係好大，應該都幾穩陣嘅嘛。
係啊，因為你睇嚟睇去同組邊有快馬啫，得佢最快啫嘛。用個10磅仔話俾你聽，佢一心真係等緊前面走啊。所以精密房佢好跑嘅，莫幾樣亦都會跟住佢咧，亦都一樣好跑嘅。兩隻馬都賺形勢嘅，大家都可以諗啊。呢兩隻馬其實都係真係幾有機會可以串條 Q 嘅。咁啊，再揀落去一啲跑法比較被動啲嘅多風雨啦。今次嘅排檔形勢好啲啦，有過一次谷草經驗啦。上一次咧就嫌阿安國良響轉彎嗰陣時咧，急咗啲咁多啦。咁啊，結果呢度咧一走咗出嚟咧，咁啊翻到嚟就緊頂唔住埋邊嗰啲綠豆爽啊，咁同埋碧玉釵嘅。咁啊，其實本身已經係跑得好好㗎啦，已經。亦都睇到呢隻馬咧係不斷喺度進步緊㗎啦。以往咧響陣上咧佢比較難留啲嘅，依家咧你見到佢就算遇到一啲比較慢啲嘅步速啊，佢留起上嚟咧都係容易咗㗎。咁啊呢一場雖然唔夠隻碧玉釵跑啫，但係嗰個第2都係緊輸咗俾嗰隻綠豆爽啫嘛。咁佢拋嚟第4名嘅馬都幾遠㗎。咁呢場第3咧佢係唔差嘅。頭先我哋睇嗰條片，佢響谷草跑過第4，因為當時佢排咗一個好不利嘅外檔啦，係焗住縮得比較後啲嘅。咁遇到一個步速形勢唔係好啱追啊，佢都撲上嚟跑過第4，即係話俾你聽個谷草一定冇問題啦。聽日又係見到阿蔡匆匆隔咗10日出黃牌報呢一場谷草咧，係想交代啊呢啲馬，因為佢搏嚟搏去都未贏咧，同埋聽晚阿蔡成手馬配合嘅，咁所以我覺得呢啲未交代嘅馬鬥志係好好啊，係一定要加入考慮。
佢唯一缺點啊，真係睇嚟比較尺寸啲，佢衝力唔係太強啊，把握到嗰個發力點咧，先至可以跑得好嘅。咁但係韋達已經跑到熟晒啦，應該會掌握得好啲，所以都要加入考慮啦。再數落去，更捷勝雖然上翻嚟4班啦，但係其實即係如果大家唔善忘嘅話，都記得初期喺4班未係好得嗰陣咧，用賴維銘放頭戰略都入到位置嘅。即係呢啲馬其實一早咧，當時已經係知道佢4班係夠跑㗎。咁啊兜兜轉轉啦，去到今季先係大熟啦。咁啊今季已經執咗2 win 㗎啦喺5班。咁雖然就話咧，即係贏啲朗天啊、步如飛啫，但係贏朗天嗰場係贏甩隻福裕㗎，福裕跟住再出咧係輕鬆贏馬㗎。咁所以嚟到4班咧孭住個輕磅咧，我真係唔敢睇小佢啊，幾有啲長途版嘅喜寶龍威味道啊！咁啊梁家俊去跑114磅3檔咧，拖冷腳值得㗎。
係啊，好鋭啊呢隻馬，咁所以咧都係可以諗㗎。另外永勝多啦，最近2場轉嚟谷草跑咧，其實2場都跑得唔錯㗎。前一次排個好檔，咁啊好出奇地懟咗喺前面跑啊，其實跟個正常步速咧，翻到嚟都可以跑到第4，拍住嗰啲回鄉精神喜寶龍威咧，其實一啲都唔曳嘅。上一次排咗個大外檔，焗住啊留得比較後啲啊，遇到個慢步速啊，其實都追一段唔錯嘅。咁今次雖然掹上嚟跑1800，冇乜路程根據嘅，但係我覺得呢隻馬跑場85應該都冇乜問題嘅。今次嘅檔位形勢咧好好多，希望個流放做好啲啊，唔好好似前一次咁一早懟咗喺前邊咧，咁啊真係違反馬性嘅跑法嘅。中段稍留嘅話咧，佢呢隻馬響直路咧應該都會有得衝下㗎，咁都可以考慮留埋佢㗎嚇。3、4場同大家睇過，再休息一陣，翻嚟再睇5、6場。有時翻嚟睇第5場，呢場3T 嘅次關嚟㗎，4班馬跑650啊，睇下國際馬界狀態評級啦。呢場3T 嘅次關咧，都係一場幾勻循嘅賽事嚟㗎。好狀態嘅馬有1號、5號、7號、8號、9號同埋11。
馬多㗎呢場。 威仔王其中一匹 fit 馬啦，上個禮拜6嘅呢課。
最近兩場喺4班嘅表現都好好啦，咁啊狀態已經係好理想㗎啦。咁啊睇下今次換阿柏寶落去，可唔可以真係贏翻場啦？
神勇馬車有今朝嘅呢一課係。
今次嘅準備程序咧積極㗎，報完名明知道正選啦，又安排咗試個大閘啊。咁啊鄭俊偉又出呢招賽前加課嗰啲嘢，咁睇下你個11檔夠唔夠膽搏下佢啦？
內檔就搏得過啊。
狀態就冇問題嘅。
葉勝於和落草地啊！
上次叫做近啲啦，咁啊當然田草你可以話佢冇咁好啦，其實又冇乜細嘅，但係復翻課咧啲功夫又好大壓力嘅，係咁密密咁樣跳啊，埋尾落埋草地，呢一課跳起上嚟佢又唔差嘅。
好啦，連戰連勝嘅內檔帶住隻奄尖大笑啊！星期日嘅呢課。
今次賽前咧就拍吊課期比上一次贏馬嗰陣時咧就少咗啲，因為之前兩課都係單跳，只係喺埋尾拍一課啫。就咁睇落去咧，你係覺得佢冇走樣嘅，又係睇下打唔打搭啦。
嗱，呢兩匹都有份跑喎，大東海、金貴飄香啊，都落晒草地㗎啦。
兩隻馬呢一課嘅走勢都好㗎，咁啊近鏡呢隻金貴飄香啊，咁啊見助手一路咁樣撳住嘅啫，埋邊嗰隻大東海咧。亦都係冇乜點樣喐手啊，咁一路咁樣跟翻嚟都係好嘅，
自成一格啦。咁呢課琴日朝早嘅。
咁復翻課之後，咁啊都係一啲單跳啊、中速嘅課期嘅，咁啊最近都跑開啊，咁呢課跳起上嚟情緒都好安定。
不過咧，以下準備有一個表啦，都係關於自成一格嘅。不過先講啦，到而家為止啦，其實谷草嘅賽事咧已經舉行咗114次㗎啦。咁其實咧，原來 check 翻啦，嗱當中有7場咧就由 Daniel Dancer 嘅子字咧就贏出嘅。至於你話 Keeper 嘅子字啦，咁其實咧暫時咧就贏咗5場嘅。咁啊，今次嘅谷草夜賽啦，有4匹嘅 Keeper 子字上陣㗎。咁啊就包括第一場嘅大東海啦、壽比南山啦、第4場嘅名望同埋今場嘅自成一格。自成一格啦，上仗嚟講初跑呢個谷草1650米咧就已經咧係可以入到 Q 翻嚟㗎啦。咁值得留意嘅係由前季至今葉購啦有43匹嘅谷草亞軍馬喺之後嗰場再出同程啦。一共已經係可以攞到8 win 㗎啦，咁當然啦，數據上面就真係非常之有利嘅。但係如果你話真係講開啦，就自成一格嚟講啦，因為上次走起上嚟咧就唔係咁規矩嘅。但係偉達咧就話其實初次跑谷草表現算唔錯㗎嘞噃。
He's a bit wayward. I think give him the benefit of the doubt having his first start there. He's only had a handful of runs anyway, so I thought he was pretty professional having only had the one run there.
And the pace wasn't really on, was it? I mean, they sort of got a pretty cheap time out in front and other horse got first run on you, but at least he stuck to his guns.
Yeah, well, the other horse looked like a transformed horse, really. I mean, he came out and he was very convincing again at the following run. So he had all favours out in front, and when I pressed the button, I thought I was going to come.
各位來賓，歡迎各位蒞臨參與今晚喺跑馬地馬場舉行嘅賽事。今晚有8場賽事，第一場開跑時間係晚上7點15分。現時投注服務經已開始，祝各位好運。
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the race course. Tonight's race meeting is being held in Happy Valley. We have 8 races tonight, and the first race will start at 7:15. Betting services are now available. Good luck.
If you gave me the pick, I think I'd be on one of a kind.
好啦，睇完偉達咁詳細嘅訪問啦，咁佢都講過自成一格上一次初次嚟谷草跑咁啊嘅表現啦。佢話有少少唔規矩，咁啊睇佢跑落咧都係有啲咁多嘅，咁即係轉咗彎之後咧，你見佢咧係有少少側身啊咁樣咧，你見阿偉達咧打咗兩邊咧，佢然後先至轉翻腳咧，跟住就衝啦。咁啊輸俾回鄉精神，咁啊正如偉達所講，回鄉精神實在係太勁啦。咁啊最近都係因為輸步速形勢嘅啫。
後邊要贏啲咩馬？
起寶龍威啊，咁啊都係好鋭噶嘛，佢係反先至起寶龍威噶，咁再埋邊仲有隻叫關快啊，之後再出咧換阿柏寶都保中嘅，咁所以呢場賽績水準咧係唔差噶啦，真係上咗寶貴一課啦。咁今次排個4檔真係好好檔位嘅，前邊連戰連勝啊、金貴飄香啊嗰啲會走嘅，咁甚至乎華倫天奴亦都係會走啦。佢應該可以守住呢3隻前領馬之後個好位嘅。跑法上佢比主要對手即係頭先偉達講過嗰隻威仔王咧，佢係會主動啲嘅。直路出頭先走先咧，你後上馬唔容易追佢。
我覺得呢馬因為佢第一次跑啦，最主要就係啊，都已經跑到咁好，你贏嗰啲咩馬？叫關快起寶龍威，咪跟住再出呢個路程都買 Q 添啦，已經係。咁佢當時係贏甩嘅，咁你輸一匹回鄉精神啫。咁如果睇翻呢一組 對比佢之前遇嘅回鄉精神或者叫關打起波龍威咧，平均上咧，我覺得係弱少少添嘅，有埋4檔啦，個磅又唔重啦，應該出頭在望嘅呢場賽事，就算咧贏唔到啦，應該都穩有位置嘅馬嚟揸佢做膽㗎啦。今次再數落去咧，威仔王應該都要再揀嘅，雖然就話偉達唔騎啦，騎咗自成一格啦，就揀翻呢隻。咁成日都講呢匹馬，佢畢竟係跑馬地都跑到呢個路程滑晒牙嗰啲馬嚟㗎啦，重磅嘅4班佢都唔驚㗎啦，一再又係可以跑得好啦。兼夾咧，似乎最近咧就再穩定啲。其實呢匹馬咧喺3班量定華時代，佢一穩定嘅狀態咧係枕住都識入嚟嘅，唔需要話太過介意啲對手係點。咁上一場輸俾嘅心智能業咧，因為心智能業本身亦都係呢個路程跑得好，亦都有啲班嘅，但係你都仲可以跑贏超光月影嘅話咧，我覺得呢組對手咧亦都唔多呢類型嘅馬啦。咁所以就算偉達唔騎換咗柏寶到啦，都要揀翻佢嘅。
不過其實睇翻咧近期咧呢一對騎練就加強咗合作啦，嗱有繳關快贏啦，綠茵神區亦都係贏啦，咁睇下。即係其實講真，威仔王亦都非常之恨交代嘅。咁啊，其實睇翻啦，佢季內裏邊啦，即係連續2場喺翻4班嘅賽事都係能夠上名啦。咁我相信今次可能個名次上面亦都會再遞增，有機會係贏埋馬添。
咁啊，今次咧就睇下即係前面嗰幾隻快貨馬究竟會放成點啦。咁啊，柏寶咧，其實呢啲馬應該都冇乜問題嘅，亦都可以期望落咗阿柏寶手上咧，可能會再勁啲都唔定啦。咁啊，所以呢一隻都係要揀嘅實力馬啦。再揀落去啦，已經有啲搏下啦。好似連戰連勝咁樣，雖然有啲近績嘅，咁但係我真係始終都驚呢個馬房都係冇打搭嘅。同埋上一次咧，始終真係個步速真係慢
晒啊！俾佢
好緊要，1分18秒幾嘅，真係慢得好犀利嘅。嗰場騎師賽啊，唔知點解個個都唔跟阿莫雷拉嘅，咁啊結果咁啊後邊咧全部都冇得追嘅。你睇啲威仔王啊，埋邊首位啲金貴飄香啊，根本完全冇一步埋身嘅，純粹就因為賺盡個步速形勢嘅。今次雖然咧你計落咧都可能有機會再賺嘅，就係睇究竟今次埋邊嗰隻華倫天奴究竟會點樣處理個跑法啦。如果華倫天奴鬥頂嘅話，咁當然呢隻連戰連勝咧就會有啲不利啦。咁但係華倫天奴咧，如果選擇稍留跟隻連戰連勝，而開邊嗰隻金貴飄埋嚟首二碟唔燒佢嘅話咧，佢嘅形勢咧應該都仲唔錯嘅。咁啊最近狀態，我覺得佢就冇乜問題嘅，就只不過就係擔心呢個馬房究竟真係會唔會有打揼咧？咁因為我之前我已經講過啦，今季10邊真係冇一隻馬打揼嘅，呢一隻馬亦都係卡拉嘅。咁但係覺得佢仍然都應該有形勢之助啊，咁啊揀埋佢啦。
咁如果唔選佢嘅話，咪諗下隻金貴飄香咯，因為都係擺喺前面嘅馬。咁雖然就話咧，如果幾匹前領馬嚟講咧，佢個檔位形勢就最差嗰匹嚟嘅。但係其實如果大家唔善忘嘅話，佢初初上名嗰次咧，喺外檔咧前面咧成堆馬鬥快咧，佢唔係好驚快㗎，反而咧你叫佢鬥慢咧，翻嚟啲馬咧佢均速啊，彈唔甩啲馬嘅。咁所以咧，如果前面鬥搶，咪嘗試鬥搶咯，10檔咪10檔咯，佢又唔係未試過㗎。當時對住2隻快馬，龍船快叫關快嗰場，佢都係咁跑㗎啦。咁當然啦，呢場有自成一格喺度咧，未必可以咁容易贏啦，因為對手真係強咗好多。咁但係呢啲馬咧，經常咧，如果鬥扯翻嚟唔散嘅話咧，佢可以捱翻直都仲可以嘅。咁再揀咧，剩翻有個正業勝於和，係呢一隻咧，我覺得可以搞亂成個大局嘅啫。一來有檔啦，二來上季佢有啲狀態嗰時咧，對起徑區咧係輕鬆取勝嘅，當時係柏寶騎，但係今日就馬偉昌騎啦。呢啲馬畢竟喺呢個路程咧係有根有據，今次有埋檔位啦，磅又唔重㗎。呢場賽事咧，我覺得對比之前咧形勢咧，其實好翻好多，可以考慮嘅。
期望佢翻嚟谷草亦都係比田草會再好啲啦。咁啊，亦都係可以考慮㗎嚇。睇完第5場，跟住我哋度埋第6場啦。呢場3D 嘅尾關嚟㗎，3班馬跑650啊。聽日杯賽場合，香港會挑戰杯，睇下咩編碼先。呢場編碼1號、2號、3號、4號、7號同埋9號。
挑彩啊，上個禮拜3㗎，後邊啊追住前面嗰匹保證勁，2匹都有
翻個幾月，埋尾就安排跑一課。咁雖然都係一路喺後邊跟住保證勁嘅啫，咁啊但係唞翻一唞，對呢隻咁啊比較細粒啲嘅馬嚟講係有好冇壞啊。
勁卒過河啦，呢課咧上個禮拜6嘅。上次
增程上嚟跑650啊，沿途守住個2碟啊，咁都跑得唔錯嘅。咁啊今次繼續跑呢個路程啦，狀態佢好穩定嘅，睇下今次會唔會又再好啲。
大把世界啦，拍隻清新空氣，佢喺外檔嘅。
埋尾都拍咗2課㗎，咁啊上一次佢都同頭先嗰隻勁卒過河一齊咁樣拍住一齊翻嚟嘅，能力都係咁上下㗎。佢亦都係有個唔錯嘅檔位啊，亦都可以守到喺前邊嘅。又係睇下可唔可以又再好少少啦。
操控到步速佢就好啲㗎。曲達瀟灑就喺外檔啦，中間嗰個新馬好爽脆咧，就星期日有分跑嘅。
咁啊見阿郭立基一路咁樣定住嘅啫，咁啊因為其實本身嘅走勢啦係夠晒好㗎啦，亦都唔使再點樣逼佢㗎啦。咁啊拍完呢一課啦，咁啊已經夠晒啦，睇下今次個步速啱唔啱佢啦。
落池喺外檔啊，拍隻綻放美麗，呢課上個禮拜4嘅。
埋門都連續拍咗3課啊呢隻馬，咁啊拍完隻綻放美麗，咁啊再響排嗰招拍嗰隻莫幾約咧，頭先大家都有睇過嘅，最近嘅狀態亦都係好嘅。呢一場賽事咧，快貨馬應該都有大把世界啊，咁同埋吉利高喺前邊㗎。我預計步速應該會係正常嘅。 對隻豁達瀟灑嚟講，應該會係比較好啲嘅發揮嘅。咁因為呢隻馬係比較容易搶口啲啊，咁同埋最近成日都會遇到一啲比較慢啲嘅步速形勢咧，係唔係好啱佢嘅。今次期望個步速會正常啲咧，對呢隻後上嘅豁達瀟灑嚟計咧，會係好啲嘅。咁睇翻佢季內啦，其實呢一場咧佢同隻招彩咧就一齊拍住咁樣翻嚟啊，其實都冇得好講㗎啦，
人哋跑得太好
啱㗎啦。見阿郭立基亦都係跑得好心機㗎啦，咁啊，因為轉彎嗰段步速又係慢啊，咁啊兜出去開邊咧，佢唔係話太蝕嘅，佢爆一段勁，咁啊亦都係幾犀利嘅喺谷草條短直路度，但係遇啱柏寶好精彩嘅演繹，一步不蝕，咁啊結果翻到嚟咧兩隻馬咁樣鬥埋一嚿咧，
輸跌
就輸跌哚啦，但係佢都拋離晒後邊嗰啲一團威啊同埋傳奇快車㗎啦。呢個第二咧真係算係有水準㗎。上一次又係遇到一個超慢嘅步速，因為嗰場馬步速係慢到超過1分19秒嘅，根本追無可追嘅。咁啊，我覺得上一場嘅表現佢一啲都唔差㗎。呢一場只要個步速正常翻啲咧，佢應該會跑翻好啲。
係啊，雖然咁樣嘅情況之下，佢都係輸過嚟馬位翻啫噃。但係頭先我哋睇片就係前一次啦，佢同即係超彩穿 Q 翻嚟啦。但係今次咧，我覺得佢有機會可以反先呢一隻超彩。嗱，事關啦，其實磅位佢比即係上次只係孭多1磅啫。咁至於你話超彩方面咧，今次又係孭頂磅，同埋睇翻啦，原來超彩過去嘅數據其實孭過即係多過130磅或以上咧，其實就麻麻地嘅。同埋始終你今次咧超彩你又換咗即係韋達上去啦。反之然咧，如果你話真係計即係鬥個後勁嚟講咧，我就自己會相信國立基會多少少嘅。
其實呢輪國立基真係鬥後勁啊，得心應手添啦，熱又得冷又得㗎。咁啊，今次少睇嘅際遇呢隻馬，千祈唔好頂佢出外碟，因為佢一再試過喺外碟跑咧就麻麻地嘅。希望咧前面咧有馬拉散個馬群啦。咁啊，頭先子健講開啦，上一次佢遇到個唔係非常之慢嘅步速咧，其實同場仲有領分係遇到一樣咁慘嘅樂視。哇！呢兩隻咧，佢哋啊真係後邊就真係捱啊，一直係走咗出外檔。你唔好以為樂視黐喺內檔好過癮喎，其實咧嗰場係慢到1分19秒幾嘅喎，
真係好離譜
都死啦！
三班
點嘅
變速㗎
，19秒幾，第7班時速都唔止啊！結果喺內檔咧，你好似就咁睇咧，追極都唔前。咁梗係唔會前啦。
其實豁達瀟灑一樣㗎，兩隻馬你都好似衝唔得好勁咁㗎。
因為前面嗰啲控制晒步速啊嘛，咁你翻嚟輸俾啲咩啊？競技英雄太奇妙，跟住咧一人一 win 添啊，仲要嗰場馬個水準其實都幾好。你睇翻如果自己數翻嗰個數字出嚟，慘到咧賽事時間頭1250米1分19秒24，慘不忍睹啊真係。結果咧樂視你就要做到22秒74都冇用㗎，做21秒74都未得啊，都未夠贏啊。咁所以嚟講嗰場賽事咧，兩匹馬都係蝕晒慢步速嘅。今次啦，咁啊兩匹咧個檔位有啲唔同啊，樂視個檔位係再好啲添，咁啊豁達瀟灑依然排外檔啦。咁當然樂視咧早段通常都後啲嘅，個內檔未必幫到佢好多。但係我始終期望有一次咧佢出得好啲咧，擺低5、6位咧，因為佢啲後勁都幾犀利嘅。喺3班咧，就算遇到啲慢少嘅步速咧，佢輸都好啦，佢唔會話爭太遠，追翻嚟都近嘅。咁對比佢之前遇到對手，哇！一係選頭仔啊，起勝多，咁啊上一次嗰啲太奇妙競技英雄咧，之後仲一人一 win 嘅，根本兩場賽事嘅水準咧都幾高㗎。咁啊今次呢組對手對比就咧，應該就近仗弱翻少少㗎啦。咁希望咧個內檔幫到佢啲啦，入到嚟直路之後早啲揾到空位咧，有機會咧俾佢突圍成功㗎。
未交代啦，咁啊同埋聽晚何良有手馬咁樣，呢啲馬應該都好好鬥志嘅。咁另外啦，超彩啦，我覺得呢隻馬都應該要揀翻嘅。無疑個頂磅對呢隻馬嚟講係會吃力啲，但係今次咧唞翻個零月啊，賽前有個拍吊啊，其實講準備都係好積極嘅。跑呢個路程始終都係3 win 2 Q， 咁啊都係好準嘅。韋達以往亦都騎過贏過呢隻馬嘅，咁所以我覺得佢發揮應該冇乜問題嘅。又係預期希望會有正常少少嘅步速，咁因為呢隻馬咧又係唔太適宜跑慢步速嘅，只要攝得好啲咧，佢仍然有機會可以爭下級。
我都有預佢㗎，因為畢竟真係呢個路程嘅專家，同埋呢場賽事咧，好多啲馬咧，即係唔係話好鋭啊，成日都有啲，或者有啲成日搏嚟搏去都搏唔到㗎，咁所以呢場賽事你都要諗翻佢啊。競出過河咁啊！上次跑呢個路程啦，唔錯喎，初跑嚟講咧有板有眼啊。咁當然啦，睇翻佢成場賽事嘅形勢咧，佢唔似會係贏到嗰隻嚟嘅，但係就好大機會入到3甲㗎啦。咁啊，最後咧真係估唔到輸俾跌跌撞撞，咩肉鴨生輝跌咗個位置嘅啫。但係咧，佢都可以壓住大把世界，我拍住嗰啲馬翻嚟咧，我覺得呢場賽事你第一次跑咧，真係相當唔錯啊！咁你睇佢咧，其實都係屬於比較均速啲啊，跑到160咧，唔似話跑嗰啲1200啊或者咧跑過1000嗰啲咁鋭嘅追上嚟。但係佢可以擺喺前啲走啦，同埋今次咧磅唔少重嘅啫，亦都係啦個檔位咧3檔咧幾就嘅跑法嘅，自己帶頭又得，唔帶嘅話咧跟住2、3米又得嘅，咁所以咧形勢上會對佢比較有利啲，咁都可以諗埋佢㗎。不
過講開啦，競出過河啦，睇翻佢季內啦都跑過好幾次啦，就1200米嘅賽事嘅。咁啊，其實喺翻上場嚟講啦，增程去跑1里啦。咁啊，賽前不如問下蔡若航，而家1里係咪更加適合呢一匹馬跑咧？
Well, it showed that he could probably make an adaptation to the 1650. He probably wasn't used to the slower tempo the first time, his first attempt at it. Now that he's tried and had a run at the distance, maybe he will sort of settle better. He's well drawn. He should get a nice easy run around, and that'll help him in the finish. He's sort of struggled to win a race lately, but he's been running well, and he gets an opportunity tomorrow night.
As you say, it is struggling by rating, but how about this 4 years old? Does he keep improving?
I don't think he's going to improve. No, he won some races early in his career quite quickly, and got up to his mark pretty quickly. And now he's just got to be placed in the right event to squeeze another win out of him. This looks suitable, you know. Now that he's had the run over the trip, it looks like a suitable race for him.
咁啊，競出過河都係可以考慮嘅。咁啊，因為上一次表現的確係有啲驚喜嘅。咁啊，我啊揀咗上次同佢拍住一齊翻嚟嗰個大把世界。咁佢咧話其實跑咗3場啦，9月尾跑咗1場啦。咁啊，跟住之後咧健康出過少少問題嘅，kick 咗又 kick， 跟住然後遲到12月先至再跑佢季內嘅第2場嘅。咁啊，跑咗2場啦。上一次咧個表現咧，其實我覺得佢同隻競出過河咧差唔多嘅。咁今次兩隻馬咧個跑法上都應該會跟住前邊嗰啲吉利高啊嗰啲跑咧。應該我都覺得唔錯嘅，始終梗係季內用得少啊，體力咧呢啲馬會佔到少少優勢嘅，亦都覺得佢個狀態係比起對上呢2場咧係再好啲嘅。咁啊呢隻馬跑谷草咧，亦都係幾耍家㗎，咁所以亦都係另外一隻可以考慮嘅配腳嚟㗎嚇。5、6場3T 兩關咧，同大家睇過啦，休息一陣，翻嚟再度第7場。
我睇翻啦，今期騎師王啦，譬如你話蔡明紹啊、吳家俊啊同埋郭能啦，分別都係需要停賽嘅。咁啊，潘頓咧都好少可啦，成10倍㗎。咁啊，你話聽日首馬咁，當然個實力上面啦，睇牌面咧就韋達係較為好啲嘅，咁所以成為大熱門啦。韋達2.15倍，至於柏寶方面啦就係3.85倍。
睇完騎師王嘅賠率，睇第7場賽事啦。呢場3班馬跑1200㗎，睇下咩 fit 馬先啦。呢場 fit 馬都多㗎，1、2、3、4、6、9同埋10。
愛寶區啊，咪星期日嘅呢課，
隔咗10日再跑嘅，咁啊所以復班課當然就係做一啲比較慢啲嘅功夫啦。咁啊上一次操控一個好慢嘅步速嘅，結果啊炒我晒。咁今次佢都有權嘅喎，因為佢用埋10磅仔啊，其實我都覺得阿蔡有啲誠意嘅。
係啊，天賦傳奇啊，呢課早啲㗎啦，5號嘅。
華美都有拍跳㗎，咁其實講準備功夫啊積極㗎，咁季初一出已經即贏㗎啦，唔需要懷疑呢馬嘅狀態嘅。上一次係蝕咗個慢步速啫嘛。
再睇多課添啊！拍隻新馬嘅將藍，佢喺內檔嘅。
係啦，埋門嗰個拍跳就係呢一課啦。咁啊見助手一路咁樣拖住，咁走起上嚟隻馬情緒又集中，好輕鬆嘅啫。
旋風魅力啦，今朝補課㗎，又係鄭俊偉㗎。
係啊，今朝早鄭俊偉兩隻馬補課嘅，咁一隻咧就係頭先睇過嘅神勇馬車，另外就係呢一隻啦。上一次咧就真係幾失望嘅，咁啊今次係唞翻個零月啦，賽前試過集啊，睇下又會唔會突然間翻嚟啦。
佢只係打回原形做翻4個喎，真係環保戰士啦，韋達啊，仍然都唔放手啊。
韋達呢3個禮拜都操咗呢隻馬3課嘅，咁啊呢課帶住個馬定機啊，咁啊都以防佢會搶口㗎啦。咁但係喺個韋達瓜下咧，佢走起上嚟算係幾貼服。
亮亮的喺內檔啊，拍住隻新三刀王，呢課早啲嘅，上個禮拜5。
上次跑完個批啊，復翻課繼續磨啦，落草地啊，跟住又喺大圈拍呢隻新三刀王啊，講狀態又好好啦。咁啊，今次佢都有機會再賺嘅，能力就係咁上下㗎啦。
都唔似會有大進步，不過檔位幾好啦。
係啊，
夾埋啲貨啊。
因為上一次其實都賺晒啊，咁不過今次佢有機會再賺嘅，狀態算係幾穩定嘅。
咁點解咁多馬可以計到再賺咧？雖然就短途賽事啊，但係佢畫嗰張步出形勢圖咧，啊幾得意啊，幾有趣嘅呢場賽事。我睇完個步速圖之後咧，又唔似有啲好速度好鋭利嘅馬啦。咁啊愛寶區擺咗呂翠玲落去咧，有個2檔咧。你都係擺前面走啦，均速前領型馬，但係咧佢又唔係好鋭利嘅喎，又唔似會帶得好快。咁外檔埋嚟嗰啲馬咧，金型啊、時尚歡樂咧，暫時都未見佢哋放到特別快嘅，尤其是金型咧，上次喺沙田都外避嘅，小心呢一點啦。咁反而睇翻啦，內檔嗰啲馬咧，如果你帶得唔快，跟到喺前啲位置咧，應該就幾着數啦。亮亮的啊，天賦傳奇就係頭先我哋所講，應該都賺得到嘅。唯一要諗巧嗰隻咧，應該就係偉大嘅環保戰士，又喺外檔嚟睇佢點走啦。
咁所以一檔嘅天賦傳奇點計都着數㗎啦，無論跟帶頭嗰個愛寶區，甚至乎快過愛寶區嘅話，自己帶都冇問題嘅。
佢都試過得嘅。
係啊，上一季贏督草呢個路程就係由頭帶到尾嘅。咁啊，今季初出走中線不利場地，咁啊又係殺低你嗰啲愛寶區咯。咁啊，軍刀都跑到啱晒㗎啦，軍刀之後再出係彈開晒萬勝區嚟贏嘅。咁所以呢場頭馬水準一啲都唔曳嘅。 上一次真係排咗個外檔，遇到一個好慢嘅步速啊，但係翻到嚟咧，其實佢表現得一啲都唔差嘅。今次轉抽咗一檔形勢咧，係遠比上次安心㗎。咁今次應該都可有機會保中啦。
其實上一次就好慘，一直都4碟㗎。咁啊，同日同場咧，環保戰士都係喎。嗰場馬咧，早段咧外檔咧際遇唔算話特別好嘅啫，但係幾匹馬咧，佢同埋亮亮的啊、天賦傳奇翻嚟3匹馬咧，都跑得好近㗎。咁當然啦，今次呢個環保戰士對住天賦傳奇咧，都係蝕少少，佢都係外檔嚟嘅。咁究竟係咪跑得翻上次嗰個水準咧？都要跑過至知。咁但係如果上一場比較嚟計咧，環保戰士咧就冇天賦傳奇蝕得咁多嘅。咁佢嗰個第2同1嘅第6咧，其實個距離就唔係好遠。
睇埋亮亮的啊，
睇埋亮的喺前邊咧，嗱好快步速嘅啫，47秒3幾嘅，咁啊應該就賺晒㗎啦。咁你都係第3嘅啫，照計就唔夠嗰兩隻跑嘅。咁咧天賦傳奇喺外檔咧，嗱唔係而家先至喺7、8碟嚟㗎，係一早已喺4碟嚟㗎啦，咁全程蝕晒嘅。反而環保戰士咧，雖然比較多彩泵泵啫，但係咧佢總算係慳到啲位，咁所以翻到嚟都衝得會比較勁啲。但係今次唔同咯喎，天賦傳奇喺內檔喎，今次係啊，咁而環保戰士仲喺中檔嚟咧，一來一回咧，其實嗰個條數都唔係好難計，唔止2個馬位咁簡單嘅隨時啊。所以我自己咧，天賦傳奇行頭啦，環保戰士咧，偉達咁有誠意咧，都要諗翻佢嘅。亮亮的一係可以賺人再賺咧，3匹都要翻晒，問題就個次序點擺嘅。
咁啊，始終環保戰士嗰啲跑法上去被動啲咁樣啦。咁啊，另外啦，外保區無論天賦傳奇選唔選擇自己放頭都好啦，佢應該就點都會喺前邊。
佢冇乜蝕底㗎喎。
係啊，因為佢呢一組揾嚟揾去揾唔到一隻好快嘅馬嘅，咁啊蔡用得10磅仔啊，希望佢唔使孭咁重磅啊，可以幫呢隻馬再贏一場啦。咁因為自從季初贏完場泥地之後，已經搏嚟搏去都贏唔到㗎啦。
進步
呢一場逼唔到嘅錢照贏，咁其實佢個第2咧都算係有水準㗎。咁因為佢贏得到多益線啊，同埋江山如畫嘅。咁上一場咧就真係啦，柏普真係騎得好好啊，咁樣外檔殺埋嚟，操控住個慢步速就係咁樣炒過晒嗰啲 Q 啦。咁呢場佢都有機會㗎，咁所以咧係另外一隻可以揀嘅實力馬嚟嘅。
係啊，都係睇下嗰啲位置係點樣擺啦。我自己較為中意咧就亮亮的嘅。咁啊，其實睇翻啦，其實頭先睇片都見到啦，佢咧就除咗你話入直路時間啦就要蝕位之外啦，其實遠路佢都係蝕位嘅，都俾人頂到成3碟咁多。咁但係咧，你見到佢臨尾啦衝翻上嚟啦，佢都可以過到埋欄嗰隻勝利大將嘅，咁啊都可以有個披翻嚟啦。咁啊睇翻即係今次仲要更加好啦，抽翻個3檔磅位即係磅位方面咧依然係輕嘅。咁我覺得兩者加埋，其實佢有權咧名次係再進嘅。
咁啊，因為今次佢都有機會走2碟㗎，咁因為內側有天賦傳奇啊、外保區1、2檔啊嘛，佢唔叻㗎啦呢隻馬，咁啊睇上一次，因為佢只係僅可以贏到隻勝利大將同埋慢步速啊咁樣，我自己覺得就應該配腳嘅機會大啲啦，可以考慮掕翻佢㗎嚇。第7場係同大家睇過，再唞一唞，翻嚟度埋尾場。有請翻嚟睇埋尾場第8場賽事，2班馬跑1200，睇下咩 fit 馬。呢場 fit 馬又係多啊，1、2、3、4、5、7、10、12。
8匹喎，去到啊高班馬即係高班馬啦，睇住一寶先啦，拍住海鑽石內檔。
先睇5號呢個，拍住開邊嗰隻海鑽石嘅，咁啊你見埋邊一寶富利馬斯洛夫船啊，哇拉到拜神咁樣啊，幾勁啊！拍完呢一課，隔咗幾日喺10號再拍多一課掂章，咁呢一課咧柏寶重新接手啦，留咗喺後邊，咁啊直路咧一陣風咁就過啦。只不過拍完呢2課之後咧，冇咗課最後試跑㗎。
又係驚呢下嘢啦就係。
不過好就好在有2檔啦，大家諗下啦，大波嘅馬冇最後試跑。
經常都考下你嘅。綠色好啦，同埋常山鳳寶嗱就係講呢課集啦，1月8號啦，100米集睇埋隻常山鳳寶，後邊嘅旋風魅力啊。
其實呢課集咧，隻綠色好就冇乜嘢睇嘅，咁啊因為12月中嗰課集咧，我覺得個參考性比較高啲，咁啊大家不妨上網重溫啦。因為呢2課集咧已經見阿徐石加咗呢個半掩防沙眼罩俾佢㗎啦。咁啊呢一課因為就嚟出賽啦。所以你見阿華昌沿途拉住啊，咁樣有你前面嗰啲活力飛區啊、常山鳳寶走嘅啫。之前10月中嗰個集咧，佢終點之前嗰個勢咧好勁啊，呢係嘛？
咁啊睇埋佢拍飛躍之區啦，試完集之後。
今次係好刻意見阿徐成安排呢隻馬唞翻差唔多2個月，做2個大集，又有拍掉啲功夫，辣到飛起嘅。
跑馬地呢個路程贏銀鬼飄香喎，真係驚咗佢喎都。幸運紅威啦。
今季嘅狀態係真係嚟得比較遲啲嘅，上一次開始跑翻好啲啦，始終都係一隻谷草短途嘅專家嘅嚟嘅。咁啊，苗太繼續摸住佢嘅，佢走起上嚟真係明顯嘅，你見到佢爽翻啊，有翻啲勢嘅。
好啦，銀桂飄香啦，上個禮拜6嘅，
去到埋尾啦，單跳翻課一段就已經夠啦。因為之前又撻過細集啊，亦都係拍嗰隻奧妙繽紛一課㗎，狀態亦都係好好㗎。尾場賽事一場幾勢均力敵嘅賽事嚟㗎，唔好話搏下輕磅嘅銀桂飄香。唔好睇佢季內只係贏3班1000，但係其實上一季呢一場已經證明到佢2班跑1200嘅能力㗎啦。因為當時咧 阿普萊西咧起步好論盡嘅，直路攞位，你睇下嗰啲唔暢順法，同嗰隻綠色好比較，綠色好順佢幾多？呢度未望空，人哋綠色好走咗你兩個。
俾人山閘添啊，仲要爭啲。
你睇下終點之前咧，佢係越撲越勁㗎，係得佢一隻咧係可以逼緊嗰隻綠色好嘅啫，證明到2班一定夠嘅。呢次啦，明知何澤堯可以用嘅，唔用何澤堯，何澤堯呢場冇馬騎嘅，專登用近期愛上潘頓排埋個好檔，前邊有錢照贏喺前邊放啊，步速真係冇得慢㗎啦，扭埋爆一段咧，我覺得佢輕磅咧。係有機會可以喺末段突圍而出嘅。
其實真係要防下啲後上馬，因為有錢照贏喺度咧，拉快啲步速嘅話咧，入到直路，如果係直路段又係慢嘅話咧，呢啲馬追到上嚟㗎。其實呢場取佢之後，隻軍功都要防一防啊。不過對比之下咧，銀幣飄香似乎嗰個可靠性就高少少，我都有佢嘅。跟住一寶啊，幸運紅威呢隊咧，點都要翻，級數真係高啲喺呢組始終都啊。咁啊，上次兩匹都跑得好㗎，咁你輸俾就賺晒內檔嘅風之子，你都冇計㗎啦。一寶咧，其實一起嘅狀態咧，佢雖然就係2位又難贏嘅啫，咁但係始終個穩定性係幾強嘅。唯一就今次冇最後試跑啦，希望佢都仍然交出咁嘅水準啦。我反而睇下隻幸運紅威呢場有啲喜出望外㗎，早段咧起步咧冇計啊，排外檔啊嘛，一路收咗啦後邊咧。雖然就話入到直路咧攞個中檔上嚟咧，但係之前冇呢啲細嘅幾場都冇嘅。今次翻嚟咧，唔好忘記上季佢最勇嘅時候咧，同鐵膽龍力逼鐵膽龍穿 Q 嗰啲馬嚟嘅。咁今次呢組你同一寶綠色好之外，其他嘅馬咧好似低咗少少咁嘅。咁所以嚟講咧，一寶要之餘咧，幸運紅威我都要翻嘅。
咁啊，今季嚟講都唔差，淨係睇上場嚟講，咁啊同頭馬風之子其實好近咁樣翻嚟。風之子其實都係級制賽嘅馬匹啦參加。咁所以其實咧。佢亦都啦喺翻上次入完呢一個批之後啦，睇翻佢其實過去嚟講啦，都有打搭好嘅。咁既然上次都可以衝得咁勁啦，咁今次8檔嚟講啦，應該都可以繼續應付得到嘅。
14咧就成日對戰啊，咁啊會有勝負啊，咁啊上次嘅4號真係跑翻好啲啦，咁今次希望佢又再好啲啦。1號就始終都係要孭個頂磅啊，咁同埋冇咗最後試跑嗰度啦，咁所以我愣翻啦呢兩隻。另外啦，綠色好，我覺得咧都可以諗下嘅，因為今次嘅排檔形勢都係安心嘅，跑法上始終都係比起
主動啊，
一寶幸運紅威係主動嘅，同埋今季呢隻馬係的確再有少少進步啊。咁因為田草1004咧，其實佢連續2場都跑得好好嘅。當然你計下數，喂佢2場都係孭輕磅，一場115磅啊，同埋一場118磅嘅。但係你睇下對手嘅級數咧，其實就好勁嘅。前一次同速龍新希望呢一場就同袁以上嗰啲鬥埋一嚿啊，一路可以頂住開邊嗰隻人興旺嘅。咁當然你細咧，你見到佢弱咗少少，咁但係因為呢一場咧步速都係算係幾快嘅。其實呢個第4咧，即係呢個第3咧，一啲都唔曳嘅。今次徐石專登刻意安排咧馬休息翻接近2個月，做2課大閘，功夫真係好好，即係好積極嘅。排馬個好個檔位，佢跑法上係比較主動啲嘅。我覺得銀桂飄香同佢咧兩隻馬實力好接近嘅，但係跑法上咧佢真係始終都可能會佔優少少嘅。所以如果搏 win 嘅話，其實亦都可以諗埋。
其實咧呢匹馬最重要啦，佢唔怕快步速，一再證明過你前面就錢志榮走幾快都啦，佢唔係太過怕㗎。沙田1004亦都係㗎，其實1004你睇翻對佢嚟講咧，可能真係長少少嘅，但係快啲步速翻嚟一樣唔斷，而且咧佢對開嘅對手咧唔係呢一組嘅組別嗰啲級數嚟，係嗰啲即係速龍你跑一班1004級制賽都到嘅馬嚟嘅，咁所以呢組嚟講咧，其實少少降咗級嘅。當然啦，磅啊重翻啲啦，孭咗130磅啦，但係排翻3檔唔驚啦，佢咩重磅都唔係唔得嘅，所以咧點都要諗住啲馬係有權贏嗰啲馬嚟。
好啦，8場賽事同大家研究過，睇下我哋膽色精選揀咗邊場。
揀咗第7場啊，都係高班少少嘅場次啦，咪揀咗4匹馬，1號愛寶區，2號天賦傳奇，6號環保戰士，10號亮亮的啊，1、2、6、14匹馬無穿，6注就 OK 㗎啦。
大家都可以參考下啦嚇。今晚節目時間夠晒，多謝大家收睇，拜拜。
Hello， 大家好，我係港馬之王 Melody 啊。1月16號跑馬地夜賽，如果想同班 friend 興高采烈咁玩翻晚，又點少得我手上嘅 Race Simulator 咧？8場精彩賽事，有咗佢就唔怕唔識部署啦。第3場嘅3班1000米賽事，呂健威馬房按一按嘅能力評級係全場最高，而狀態亦都係頭幾位。快活谷1000米係按一按嘅首半路程，過往出賽4次就已經贏出3次啦。當中有2次更加係由柏寶策騎，今次人馬重逢出戰強項路程，唔知 Race Simulator 又點睇呢？
廿地步嘅時候啊，精靈勇進、常山鳳寶應聲彈出啊，保正勁、振興中華、明馬、中國動力同埋奧妙繽紛都快嘅。後一搭嘅馬有足金、按一按同埋金波羅啦，開始轉讓和遠彎啦，步速正常唔算好快嘅啫。精靈勇進喺前面單騎領放，兩個馬位之後，常山鳳寶守住第2位啊，中國動力貼欄第3。奧妙繽紛、明馬外碟開始加速㗎啦，然後內欄仲有足金、金波羅啦、振興中華、按一按同埋保正勁喎，幾匹馬走晒出外檔喎，入到嚟之後直路啊，帶頭仍然係精靈勇進㗎，常山鳳寶、中國動力一齊發力走緊上嚟㗎啦，抄出大外檔上有明馬按一按㗎，最後200米啊，前面精靈勇進仲有一個馬位優勢喎，常山鳳寶、中國動力追嚟追都追唔到㗎，金波羅、足金同埋大外檔嘅按一按反而有啲進展啦，前面精靈勇進走勢開始轉弱啦，呢個時候足金、金波羅一齊喺後面放上嚟啊！個終點足金第1，精靈勇進第2，金波羅第3，中國動力第4。按一按咧喺外檔雖然衝得幾勁，但係最後依然邊長莫及，只能夠跑第5嘅啫。
Race Simulator 嘅分析都好獨到喎，不過我都有我嘅睇法，同頭先有少少唔一樣㗎，大家都睇埋啦。
按一按上季喺2班同程曾經擊敗過風之子同埋一寶啊，後兩區喺上場嘅1班谷草賽事分別跑獲冠亞軍，所以按一按嘅能力應該都有接近1班嘅水平。至於狀態方面，按一按上仗跑唔擅長嘅1200米都可以跑入第4，狀態明顯復甦，所以應該可以調高佢嘅狀態評級。即刻睇下改完之後表現點先。
廿地步嘅時候啊，精靈勇進、常山鳳寶應聲彈出啊，保正勁、振興中華、明馬、中國動力同埋奧妙繽紛都快嘅，仲有按一按啊。後一搭嘅馬有足金、金波羅啦，開始轉讓和遠彎啊，步速正常唔算好快嘅啫。精靈勇進喺前面單騎領放啊，兩個馬位之後，常山鳳寶守住第2位啦，中國動力就貼欄第3嘅。奧妙繽紛、明馬外碟開始加速㗎啦，按一按拍高好醒喎，攝咗埋內欄上嚟第5位㗎咯噃。然後內欄仲有足金啊、金波羅啦，入到嚟之後直路啦，帶頭仍然係精靈勇進啊，常山鳳寶、中國動力一齊發力走上嚟㗎啦，中檔按一按，哇已經殺到上嚟㗎咯噃，最後200米啊，前面精靈勇進仲有個幾馬位優勢，按一按越逼越近㗎啦，常山鳳寶、中國動力就捱嘅啫，外檔上緊嚟仲有足金啊，前面精靈勇進開始轉弱啦，呢個時候按一按同埋足金一齊喺外檔殺上嚟，過咗點按一按第1，足金第2，精靈勇進第3，中國動力第4嘅。
大家一於透過 QR code 或者呢個網址免費下載 Race Simulator 啦，已經下載咗嘅仲等乜嘢啊？即刻調校你嘅心水數據預測賽果啦！
Lucky 9. Sweet Orange. Yesterday's Classic Mile winners. Today, making their mark on racing. Tomorrow's stars are waiting to be born. Battle of the 4-year-olds. Hong Kong Group 1 Glory. The Hong Kong Classic Mile. January 20th, Sha Tin Racecourse.
跑馬地馬場滿貫廳再獲殊榮，獲最新出版嘅米芝蓮指南香港澳門2013選為優質食肆，首度躋身米芝蓮餐廳之列。想喺綠茵長畔享受米芝蓮食府嘅非凡滋味，敬請立即致電29667111預留座位啦。
Honor and Glory, a 3-part story. Hong Kong Group 1 Action, the premier middle to long distance series. International mile champion and horse of the year, Ambitious Dragon, has his sights set on another victory. The fight for the Triple Crown commences with the Stewards Cup, the 20th of January, Sha Tin Racecourse. Jockey Challenge in play is available until the start of Race 6.
今晚跑馬地馬場會上演1010百萬挑戰杯賽事，1010百萬挑戰杯即將喺2月尾結束。現時告東尼馬房嘅強風駿馬暫時以63分穩居榜首。不過今晚未有報名上陣，但係以36分排第2嘅救女6場1號超彩就會再度出征首本谷草1650米路程，或者可以令馬房包辦挑戰杯嘅前2名嘅。而同樣有36分嘅8場5號顯照贏，同25分嘅3場9號足金，今晚都會分別上陣，唔知佢哋會唔會攞到好成績呢？
His run here at the Valley was very good. I thought last time out, a nice run in defeat, covered a little bit of ground and an early move made. And he just was found wanting late on, but I think this is a significantly weaker race. Now, there's been a lot of support for Douglas White in the challenge. He's down from $2.30 into $1.95. Preble's eased out to $3.75. Rispoli, I think, could take it out tonight. He's at $8, $14 for Zach Purton. $9 Howard Cheng, he's a firmer. $50 for Benso. Derek Leung at $30. Vincent Ho at $30 as well. $50 for Dickie Loy. $60 Tim Clark. $50 Olivia Deleuze. $125 for both Alex, Lai and Eddie. And any of the others at $55. So that's the situation as far as the Jockey Challenge is concerned. Now the betting for the opening race, and from the top we've got Miz and Grey at 15. 18 O'Reilly Magic. Sabina at 6. Perfect 10, 15. Fiery Patrol 3.9. Solar Wonder 11, 7 for Watch First. East Ocean at 10. Really the best is at 23. 28 Sparkling. King Galileo at 10. And 9.5 for Sunseeker. So that's the betting for the opening race, which is a Class 5 race over 1,800 metres. And I think it's a good card, actually. I quite like the card tonight. What did you think, Jenny? Looking forward to the meeting?
Well, I thought particularly the last race was a very good race, Clint. I thought, this race is going to be a little bit difficult, could be quite tricky, but it always is the Class 5s. But, yeah, looking forward to it, and the fact that we've got a couple of jackpots makes it more interesting.
Yeah, we were looking at the Jockey Challenge just a moment ago, and I thought the first race was key with the challenge. Obviously, Douglas White's got a good chance with Watch First, and Preble's on an interesting runner with Solar Wonder, and they do head up the challenge betting. But I thought if Umberto Rispoli, and if you do fancy him, you probably should take it now, because if he can get the job done on East Ocean, who I think is a winning chance, it brings him right into it, and he's got some good rides through the night. So you might want to take the $8 now, but I think Douglas White will be very tough to beat, but because he's, Watch First isn't exactly one of his better rides, and obviously One of a Kind or Bountiful, I think, far better opportunities amongst others. But he is definitely a winning chance on Watch First, but he can do plenty wrong as well. And there is a chance he could miss the frame altogether. So it might be the opportunity to take a risk really early. And I thought Vincent Ho at 30 was some value as well. Potentially, Vincent rides King Galileo in the opener. But it's that sort of race, the opening event. Over 1,800 metres. Fiery Patrol's a last start winner. And Sabina won 2 back over the course and distance. So there's a few horses there that are in a bit of form.
Just to mention also that we've got Casey Anderson, the DJ, down in the beer garden tonight. So no live band, but certainly entertainment happening down there.
Well, we should get a great crowd. What about the weather's been very strange the last few days. Cold night, but a beautiful day today, and it's a lovely evening here at the Valley, so expect a good crowd in attendance, and turnover's simply been booming of late, and expect the same tonight. I think it's a really good card, and get stuck in trying to find a few winners.
It'd be nice to get off the start with a winner, wouldn't it, in race 1?
Yeah, I thought. I think it's hard to be confident in the opener, but I think it certainly is from there on in. I think it's there's a number of good races there on the card, but the first one does look quite open. Just a reminder as well, Jimmy and Dan have already pointed it out, but there's a 6-up jackpot of just under 2 million, and in the TT 1.6 million. So a little added bonus here for this evening's meeting. Number 9 here, Tom Quealy, a pound over at £120 aboard Really the Best. And we're going to kick off with Miz and Grey. Looks a very moderate commodity at the moment. He's having his first run in the grade and he's nicely drawn, but he's had pretty good runs at, well, particularly his last run, and didn't really fire behind Mark II. This is obviously easier. He comes to the Valley where he's been once before and finished a moderate 8th behind Carew.
Well, that's probably the only reason you'd be able to upgrade him, isn't it? Because he is dropping down in class here. But I will say this about him. He's actually put on a little bit of condition. He looks much better for it. He's always been a fairly plain, weak type of horse. And he's just sort of nicely on his toes. And he looks the best I've probably seen him to date. He's had the 9 starts and all those runs have been very poor. But because he's put on a little bit of condition, I think he looks a tad better. So perhaps he could go a little bit better.
All right, that's number 1, Miz and Grey from the Gary Yard. Darren was making a case for this on occasions, but he quickly dropped off. Realised the error in his ways, but that is Miz and Grey, who's on the positive side. At least he's only had 9 starts and he's already in this grade. So I think that a couple of those efforts weren't too bad up in class. And
he's definitely fit, and he's actually walking out quite well too. So nice and alert. Yeah, as I said, that's probably as good as you're going to get for him. It's the best I've probably seen him without going overboard by any means.
Yeah,
he's still a plain horse.
He's got far too much airtime for his ability. We should be moving on, and I think we will. We'll go into O'Reilly Magic, who's well, he's had his runs have been well spaced this season. His best effort was when second behind Humongous. He's never beaten far. He's going to need luck from the gate. The weight off will help, but Dickie Loy from gate 10 might be. You might need a little bit of faith in a young lad to get him across, which I don't think is guaranteed.
Yeah, looks terrific in his coat at the moment, O'Reilly Magic. He's another one that's a fairly plain individual, and he's a bit stiff walking behind. He's been like that for quite some time. But I do think he looks rather fit. In front, he just needs to loosen up a touch as well. So just walk-wise, he's not totally smooth sailing, but he's a winner. He's won over this distance before, so I think on the strength of that and in a race like this, he's got to be left there with some chance. Relaxed enough as well.
The other thing with the jockey booking, getting a reasonable price about O'Reilly Magic, he's a real take-on chance type of prospect, but at 17 to 1, it's certainly possible. I'll be petting other horses well before I ruled him out of contention. Hasn't raced for a little bit, but he's had his fair share of problems throughout his career. So little freshen up. 3 times the winner here at the course and distance. And that winner late last season here in Class 5. At least he's won races, 4 of them.
That's true.
Dickie Loy. Well, boy rode well on the weekend. He was only just touched off in the first. He did his best to try and lift Solar Boy back, but was just headed and then went on to win a further 2 races on the card. Here's Sabina, number 3. He drew well the night he won here over this distance, handled by this jockey. Was able to get the box seat tonight. I'm sure that would be Richard Faree's plan tonight, to try and get the box seat, and it looks achievable for the fact that there's no real speed in the race.
Yeah, look, he's bandaged in front, which is not unusual for him. He's a very solid, strong individual, weighs in 1177 pounds, so put on 6 pounds since the last time he raced. He looks great in his coat. He's not the most fluent walking horse in front, but that's been him for a while now, so I wouldn't be too concerned, and he always tends to carry a little bit of condition. But, you know, he's big, he's tall, he's probably one of the better ones that I've seen so far, so he's all right, he's good.
Sabina nicely drawn. He drew well, of course, when Richard Faree won aboard him back in October. Perfect 10. Well, this horse is going first up here over the 1800. First run for Sean Woods as well. I think he'll get away with the race in the grade. The blinkers are off for the first run for the yard. Just didn't particularly like him first up over the trip.
Yeah, I think he's an interesting runner. He sort of stands out on looks that I've seen anyway so far. Looks fantastic in his coat at the moment. He's a horse with a fair bit of scope. He's actually walking out really quite well. Now, he's had a few issues back on the 9th of July it was. He had a right front sesamoid ligament partial rupture, and also a bit of an issue with his right front suspensory. But there's no bandages on this fellow. He looks like he's done enough work. He looks really quite fit and well, and he's walking out well. I quite like the look of him. He looks good.
Okay, well, I think that's a very interesting paddock report there with Perfect 10, because I think when you look at it, the lack of racing coming back from an issue is a big concern. But if Jenny feels he looks fit enough, he'd be good enough.
here, and he's only came over 1200, but he's always looked like a horse that would want these sorts of trips, and I think he'll work across from 11. He'll probably go forward, and I think he's got each way claims.
Yeah, probably has. He's looking quite okay. Another fairly solid, strong type of horse. He's bandaged in front. I was querying how he was walking in front as well, and sometimes behind he's not totally clean walking either. But apart from that, he's pretty well behaved. I don't think he looks too bad. Another one that I could leave there as a place chance on looks. Always does carry some condition.
Yeah, both runs have been respectable. Longer trip shouldn't really be an issue for East Ocean. We'll just need some luck from barrier number 11. But Rispoli looking for his third winner for the stable. His number 9 really the best. He's come up with the right draw, but he doesn't really have the ability, I believe, to make good of that Nas Ali.
Horse is looking really quite fit. Definitely, I wouldn't mark him down on that level. I think he couldn't be any fitter than how he presents here tonight, really the best. And the fact that there's not a lot of speed, perhaps from gate 1, he might be able to be a little closer. He looks good. He's a bit wintry in his coat, but apart from that, he's actually quite a fluent enough walking horse and definitely very fit.
He's got a good barrier, and I don't like him. I haven't seen anything there to get enthusiastic about. Was really the best. I'm going to leave him alone. In the way that Sparkling went last time, I thought it was an awful performance from him. He actually got quite a good run in the race. He was a little... I think he was one off for the majority of the journey, and then he got into a 3-wide position on the second turn and just weakened out of it very tamely. So I thought his effort was very poor.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not he could lift on that either, Clint, but he is better drawn here tonight, and he's got 117 pounds on his back as well. So a few things in his favour. He was clipped out last time I saw him as well, but that coat that's coming through is perfectly okay. Quiet enough horse. He seems to walk out fluently enough, and he's fit. So there's not too many negatives with him. Actually looks well.
Yeah, the recent run there on the dirt was a real concern, considering that he was up at a place at his start prior to that. So I was quite happy to leave him alone. The blinkers go back on, so an attempt by Manfred Mann to try and spark him up again. Of course, behind him, King Galileo. Well, if you're going to make a case for him, you wouldn't really want to look at his lead-up barrier trial to this over a mile. He really struggled, made hard work of it. But on his racetrack form, he's one that'll be running on.
Yeah, obviously he gets back in his races now. He's a neat, strong, nuggety type of horse. This guy, he's sweating up, and it's a rather, well, it's not cool night, but it's certainly not terribly warm either. So he's got himself rather quite hot, and he seems to be walking out all right. He just tends to be carrying a little bit of condition once again. I prefer others on looks.
Yeah, the trial wasn't great, but I don't think he ever trials that well, so I'm not going to read too much into that, Darren. But he does run on a bit. He needs pace on him. I don't know if he'll get it. I think this horse is interesting. Markers, but look, he's been a bit of disappointment overall. You could pick faults on all of them. I went with him on top because I thought he'd be each way odds, which is what he is. And on that last run, I couldn't rule him out here. I think he's in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Paul O'Sullivan's had him for a couple of runs, and they've been much improved efforts as well. So he's probably a chance of going a little better. Obviously, the 1800's still a bit of a query for him. Appearance-wise, he looked really quite healthy and well. He just in front, he needed to loosen up a touch as well. So that would be my only concern. Apart from that, everything else was good with him.
Yeah, I'll put him in the tips, although the last run was pretty decent at Chartin over the 1400 metres. Been a big disappointment overall, Sunseeker. There was a number of times I was tipping this in Class 4 races, and here he is now almost at the bottom of Class 5. But if he was to win tonight, I wouldn't be surprised. Put him up as the second tip in the race. And he's being kept pretty safe in the market at 9.7. The favourite, number 5, Fiery Patrol, at 3.8. In front of 3, Sabina at 6.2. 7, Watch First at 6.7. And the rest headed by East Ocean, number 8 and 12, Sunseeker, both at 9.7 apiece. So the public all jumping on Andy Long in the first. How did you see it, Jenny?
I really like the look of number 4, Perfect 10, who's been off the scene all season. So this is his first up effort. Obviously 1800 first up could test him, but he looks fit enough to run a decent race. He looks fantastic in his coat. Always had a terrific attitude. He was walking out well. There's no bandages on him considering he's had a number of issues. So I quite liked him. I thought he paraded really well, so I'm going to put him on top of number 5, Fiery Patrol, who's the favourite at the moment. He looks well. He's actually put on some weight, so I think he actually looks better for that. I was concerned that he was just lightening off a bit, but certainly not. Definitely well. Number 6, Solar Wonder, I thought he looked good too. There he is on screen. He's a very solid unit. This guy looks fantastic in his coat. Real bundle of health at the moment, so he can go in with Brett Preble on board. And then number 9, I thought really the best yet to run a place, this fellow. He's nicely drawn in gate 1. He's got 119 pounds in his back. Got the tongue tie being applied as well, so perhaps that could help him a little bit. He needs a lot of help because he hasn't been able to feature in the placings until hopefully tonight, but the way he presented, especially the way that he walked as well, he can go into the top 4 tonight. Of the rest, I thought probably Sabina was the next best. So 4, 5, 6 and 9.
4, 5, 6 and 9. 4, 5, 6 and 9 in the opening race. So Perfect 10 looking well. First start for Sean Woods of a Fiery Patrol, Solar Wonder, and really the best bit of value there with numbers 6 and 9. 6 minutes till the start. It's the Murray handicap. Let's head up to Brett Davis and get his thoughts here on the opening race.
Thank you, Clint. Good evening to you. Good evening, everybody. Yes, down at the start for the Murray, Class 5, 1800 metres, race 1. And I've gone here with Fiery Patrol. I thought this horse won quite well last start. Of course, he didn't show a great deal for his first half a dozen or 8 runs, and then this term ran a nice second, first up behind Hong Kong Fat back in early October. And then at his next start, he got checked at the opening of the gates and wasn't really in it. Not beaten all that far behind Flying Keeper. And then last start, got a nice trail into the race, but I thought he won with a bit of authority. He's still in the grade. He's got a little more weight to carry, but I got the feeling that he might be able to win again, Fiery Patrol. I thought the dangers were Sabina, who's been racing well his last couple, a winner 2 starts ago, over this course and distance, drawn well for Richard Ferree, who rode the night that he won. Number 6, Solar Wonder, interesting runner. He's been now with David Hall for a few months, and last start he ran poorly, but the run over the 1,000 was okay here, and this is a better distance for him here at Happy Valley tonight rather than the 1,000. So 5 to beat 3 and 6. And then I threw number 11, King Galileo. I know he's had another trial since. I didn't think he trialled that badly, actually, at Sha Tin 2 Tuesdays ago. He probably would prefer at 2,200. He's a dead set stayer. He'll get back if there's pace on. He'll work to the line and be some chance. I've gone 5, 3, 6, 11 in our opening race tonight with 5 minutes of betting time remaining.
Thanks, Brett. I've gone with number 6, Solar Wonder, taking the chance with him for a horse that does go well here at the Valley, and his last win was off a rating of 42, 36 before that, so off his current assessment of 32, he's pretty well in. To beat to number 12, Sunseeker, he's got that low now. Surely he's going to be able to win a Class 5 race. The last run would suggest he could. 3, Sabina, I think it'll get the run of the race. And number 2, O'Reilly Magic, just thought he's a dangerous runner with the 10 pounds off his back. If he's sort of in striking distance at the 100, that 10 pounds might kick in at the end on those tired old legs of his. So I've got 6 on top from 12, 3 and 2 as the chances. But I thought Perfect 10 was certainly a runner of interest. You don't see that many.
Hasn't done much, but he closed off all right. As I said, I mean, he was entitled to because of the way the race was run. But the way he stayed on, I thought, well, maybe he does want 1,800, and he's getting weight off all his rivals here, and I just didn't really like the logical sort of horses in the betting. Watch First could win, but he's a difficult ride, and he's awkwardly drawn. East Ocean, I thought, even though he's drawn wide, I think they'll press on with him, and he might get into a good spot in a race like this where there might not be that much speed, and Fiery Patrol, I think he'll need a bit of luck from the gate. He doesn't have a great deal of early speed, and there's a bit of a chance that he might be caught wide or a bit further back than he was last time. But having said that, he should also appreciate the step up in trip. So I'm going to go with a little bit of value here on an each-way basis. Number 12, Sunseeker on top for Derek Long and Paul O'Sullivan.
Yes, so there was not much to disagree on then. At this first, we both have a liking for the 12.
Not
Jenny?
yet. We'll find somewhere along the night we can disagree.
Yeah, well...
although the tips are pretty similar tonight.
Maybe the All Bountiful race we might spruik up a little bit.
Yeah, you looked quite taken aback when I napped him. I can understand why.
It's just been your recent demeanour over that horse in particular that I found disturbing, that you had the gall to tip it on top.
And nap it.
Nap it, yes.
I think
that was a surprise.
Tonight's the race, and he's going a little better. But I like him tonight. But if he doesn't win tonight, I'll be back on the old tram, which was potting him. He'll have to go very close anyway.
Yeah, it could be determined by how hard Compact Yarn goes in that race. Really, how the race is run.
Yeah, Compact Yarn's an interesting one with the young lad on, isn't it? Whether he can rate him or not. But looking at this race, the favourite Quinola's 3 and 5. Sabina Fiery Patrol. They are the first two in the market. Watch First is trimmed in half a point. I think Watch First is just ready to win a race, but he is such a difficult ride. I mean, they've tried so many different jockeys on him, and it's always proved very difficult.
Well, he gets back, he needs luck, and he can lay in, so there's a number of issues with him, but if he gets the pace to suit, he'll always be running on.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the retirements, boys, because Retirement Village probably got the house full sign up after this lot. There's 9 of them. Carga Spirit, Take Another Chance, Noble to 1, Athenium, Speechmaker, Tonbridge, Full Star, Sunny Sky, and Assure.
Well, I don't think too many tears will be shed over that list.
I don't think so. Carga Spirit have been pretty good through his connections.
Well, at least he went out on a bit of a high.
Yes.
He went out having a good season. He won 3, didn't he, this
And
time?
I was interested to hear that one you read out on the weekend, Jenny, Saddler's Lodge.
Yes.
It was interesting. Jerry Green sent me a link from that meeting on the weekend 2 years ago. Saddler's Lodge ran 7-4 favourite and ran second to Ambitious Dragon.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Yeah. How about that?
There you go. That was and it was all downhill from there. They're loading up.
That's as close as he ever got.
They're loading up here for the opening race. Let's go to Brett Davis for the call.
Thanks, Clint. Yes, the first of 8 about to get underway here at Happy Valley. Murray Handicap, Class 5, 1,800 metres. 3.7 about Fiery Patrol, who's the favourite here for race 1. Sabina is a 5-1 chance. He's at 6. 6.2 for Watch First. And then double figures the remainder. King Galileo, 10. 9.5 now for Sunseeker, who steps up in distance. 10 about East Ocean. 13 for Perfect 10, who resumes tonight. 12 for Solar Wonder. And then 17 Mizzen Grey, who's down in class. So 5 favourite, Fiery Patrol, 3.7. He is the favourite, ahead of numbers 3, 7 and 12. For our first race of the night, rail in the B position, the Hong Kong Club Challenge Cup, our feature race 6, Class 2, final race on the card. Jackpots in the TT and 6 up. Class 5, the first 1,800 metres. They're all loaded, ready to go, and they're off. And Fiery Patrol a little slow out of the gates, along with Sunseeker and Watch First. Nearer the rail, jumping quickly, was Mizzen Grey, along with Really the Best. Now Fiery Patrol pushing up with Perfect 10, O'Reilly Magic. Solar Wonder tracking in behind them, along with Sparkling on the rail, and then Sabina, who's going to settle back in the field. A long gap away then to the last 4, King Galileo, Sunseeker, East Ocean, and Watch First is last of all as they work out of the stretch, and Really the Best is taking the lead narrowly from Perfect 10. Fiery Patrol's posted 3 deep, no cover as they work towards the 1,200. Sparkling on the leaders back from Mizzen Grey, and then came Sabina, who's tracking 3 back the fence from Solar Wonder. And they were followed then 2 back by Sunseeker on the outside of O'Reilly Magic, 2 to King Galileo, Watch First, and a length and a half last of all is East Ocean. Well, Solar Wonder was caught a little wide as well, and he pushed on, and as they go towards the back 900 metres out, it's Solar Wonder shading Really the Best now by a half a length. A length and a half to Perfect 10 third. On the outside of Sparkling, who's had a good run 4th. Fiery Patrol, this favourite's going to have to sit 3 deep, no cover for the entire trip. On the outside of Mizzen Grey and then Sabina. A length away Sunseeker, O'Reilly Magic, King Galileo, Watch First, and one away to East Ocean, who's at the tail of the field. They work down the side. It's Solar Wonder in front. From Perfect 10, Really the Best, and Sparkling's had a lovely run. He tracks up behind the leader. Mizzen Grey, Fiery Patrol, and then Sabina. Sunseeker next as they corner in, and Solar Wonder straightened in front. From Perfect 10, Really the Best, Mizzen Grey, Sparkling looking to get through. Sabina runs up behind them. Fiery Patrol's dropping out of it, but it's Perfect 10 joined by the top weight Mizzen Grey down in class. Sunseeker runs on late. It's Mizzen Grey in front. Sunseeker's coming quickly. Mizzen Grey holding on from Sunseeker. The Greys will Quinella it, and it's Mizzen Grey from Sunseeker. Third is tight. Sabina possibly, but flashing late East Ocean. Watch First not far away with a weakening Perfect 10, and then King Galileo. Followed up then by Sparkling, who had every conceivable chance in the run. O'Reilly Magic, Really the Best. And then Solar Wonder, who got run over in the stretch. And Fiery Patrol had to sit 3 wide for favourite backers in the first. Failed to beat a runner home. Mizzen Grey from Sunseeker, the bookends, 1 and 12. And standing by for third, but it's Mizzen Grey, Gary Ung, Eddie Lai, over 12 Sunseeker, and a photo third. Mizzen Grey, start 10, 4-year-old by Mizzen Mast out of Quiet Maria. The drop in grade's been the key. Class 5, the first 1,800 metres. They're all loaded, ready to go, and they're off. And Fiery Patrol a little slow out of the gates, along with Sunseeker and Watch First. Nearer the rail, jumping quickly, was Mizzen Grey, along with Really the Best. Now Fiery Patrol pushing up with Perfect 10, O'Reilly Magic. Solar Wonder tracking in behind them, along with Sparkling on the rail, and then Sabina, who's going to settle back in the field. A long gap away then to the last 4, King Galileo, Sunseeker, East Ocean, and Watch First is last of all. As they work out of the stretch, and Really the Best is taking the lead narrowly from Perfect 10. Fiery Patrol's posted 3 deep, no cover as they work towards the 1,200. Sparkling on the leaders back from Mizzen Grey, and then came Sabina, who's tracking 3 back the fence from Solar Wonder. And they were followed then 2 back by Sunseeker on the outside of O'Reilly Magic, 2 to King Galileo, Watch First, and a length and a half last of all is East Ocean. Well, Solar Wonder was caught a little wide as well, and he pushed on, and as they go towards the back 900 metres out, it's Solar Wonder shading Really the Best now by a half a length. A length and a half to Perfect 10 third. On the outside of Sparkling, who's had a good run fourth. Fiery Patrol, this favourite's going to have to sit 3 deep, no cover for the entire trip. On the outside of Mizzen Grey and then Sabina, a length away Sunseeker, O'Reilly Magic, King Galileo, Watch First, and one away to East Ocean, who's at the tail of the field. They work down the side. It's Solar Wonder in front. From Perfect 10, Really the Best, and Sparkling's had a lovely run. He tracks up behind the leader. Mizzen Grey, Fiery Patrol, and then Sabina. Sunseeker next as they corner in, and Solar Wonder straightened in front. From Perfect 10, Really the Best, Mizzen Grey, Sparkling looking to get through. Sabina runs up behind them. Fiery Patrol's dropping out of it, but it's Perfect 10 joined by the top weight Mizzen Grey down in class. Sunseeker runs on late. It's Mizzen Grey in front. Sunseeker's coming quickly. Mizzen Grey holding on from Sunseeker. The Greys will Quinella it, and it's Mizzen Grey from Sunseeker.
Well, Darren, I was giving you a little bit of a hard time about the winner a couple of starts ago, but he's done the job tonight. There's the photo for third. Umberto Rispoli getting there on East Ocean, just ahead of Perfect 10. $187 a win, $54.50 a place. Sunseeker, $38 and $35.50 for East Ocean. The Quinella, $9.46. The Tierce, $20,707. The Trio, $4,585. A neck by a length and a quarter. That time is very slow. 152.41. They did steady up down the back, but all the same, they've walked home. So they're just a field of walkers here, and the quickest of them was Mizzen Grey.
Yeah, so we haven't learnt anything we didn't know prior to the race. Glad I kept my mouth shut there with Mizzen Grey. Preserved the right to be quiet.
I took the Fifth Amendment on that one. He got a lovely ride from Eddie Lai, let's face it. He drew 4. He stayed sort of in about 5th position throughout, one off the fence, travelled well. Almost at bordering on being a bit keen, but look, he just kept whacking away in the straight, and he was in the right spot. Sunseeker, he had his chance, just stayed on. Tonight there might be one for him here. I thought East Ocean was a good run and defeat. He went well back from, came back, swooped the field, and stayed on quite well to run third.
He's been fairly consistent, you'd have to say, in his 3 runs this season, East Ocean. So you'd like to think he's going to pick one of these up. Sunseeker, it's going to happen one day. And Perfect 10, his run wasn't bad, Jenny.
Yeah, well, it wasn't bad, was it? I mean, he was just facing the breeze the whole way. He was pushed 3 deep as well. I think just the condition, the first up over the 1800 just told in the last 50 metres or so. But nice first up effort from him.
We'll keep an eye again for him when he runs again soon.
The class drop for Mr. Gray, also putting on a little bit of condition, held him in good stead here tonight. But that time is incredibly slow, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I've got the sections 13.8, 23.4, and then 25.1, 25.5. So certainly the third and fourth sections were pretty steady. Now, Little Credit at the start as really the best jumped out was Sparkling. Going back, Sunseeker, in fact, he's just outpaced. Watch First was taken back along with East Ocean, and East Ocean ends up an absolute last. Going forward, nothing really wanted to lead here. Fiery Patrol, you could see he was going to get caught out in a limb. I don't know why he didn't continue to press on here, because now he sort of takes a bit of a sit after doing a bit of work in his 3 wide no cover, and he could kind of see that he was going to get caught in that predicament. But as they settled down, we had really the best Perfect 10, 3 wide no cover for the favourite Fiery Patrol. Then we had Sparkling on the leader's back. The eventual winner 1 out, 1 back. Preble was going to be caught 3 deep the trip, so he made a move around them, passing the Football Club, and went on with Solar Wonder. So it injected a little bit of speed through there. But having said that, that third section at 25.19 isn't anything special. So now they're in pretty much 2x2 formation, except the favourite, Howard Cheng, is caught 3 wide no cover. So we've got Solar Wonder from really the best. Then we have Perfect 10, who's just one off and hanging out a fraction. Sparkling. Fiery Patrol doesn't make a move. The winner's inside him. Then we had Sabina. Sunseeker does get up to run second, and he's in a midfield position. He ends up, I think, making a run inside of Fiery Patrol. Then we had O'Reilly Magic. Under the cosh already was King Galileo. East Ocean, look where he is. He's last at this point, getting reminders, and he does swing very wide, turning in. As they go into the stretch, actually Sunseeker came inside of Fiery Patrol, offered nothing, but you kind of expect that after the trip that he had. Mizzen Gray just kept boxing on at the 1 pace. Perfect 10 whacking away okay. Sparkling came out underneath O'Reilly Magic and caused him some inconvenience there. They really are walkers in this. I think East Ocean was probably the run of the race in some respects.
Yeah, we'll leave the black ball closed on that one. Trio, $4,585. So it's a pretty hefty payout. The QPs, $269.50, $432, and $210.50. The first fours paid $14,372. And the sectional times there on the opening race, 13.8, 23.4. Then they really slowed it up. 25.1, 25.5, and home in 24.47. For the winner's time, 152.41.
Honor and Glory, a 3-part story. Hong Kong Group 1 action, the premier middle to long distance series. International mile champion and horse of the year, Ambitious Dragon, has his sights set on another victory. The fight for the Triple Crown commences with the Stewards Cup, the 20th of January, Shot In Racecourse.
跑馬地馬場滿貫興再獲殊榮，獲最新出版嘅米芝蓮指南，香港、澳門2013選為優質食肆，首度躋身米芝蓮餐廳之列。想喺綠茵長伴享受米芝蓮食府嘅非凡滋味，敬請立即致電29667111預留座位啦！
Betting is concerned, I can tell you that just before we hear from Douglas White, Rising Power, about 400,000 worth of investment rolled onto him. Douglas White, I caught up with him regarding the favourite here, Sight Lover. Let's listen to that interview now. Douglas, Sight Lover, a really nice effort first up. Unfortunately, had to cover a little bit of ground from a bad alley, but it was a good, really good run in defeat.
That was a solid run. Matthews also was a bit wayward in front of him, and he, being green himself, was a little bit intimidated by that. So I thought he ran pretty genuinely considering the circumstances.
He's been in the valley for a trial, and he seemed to get around the track really well.
Yeah, no, he handles the track fine.
Gate 9 this time, a little tricky again. I mean, it seems a race there's not a great deal of speed. Is that encouraging from your point of view?
Oh, it might be, but look, he's a pretty flexible horse from that point of view. He's only had the one start, so he's going to be a bit green still. But he began well the other day. It's another awkward alley again. He's been done no favours. But look, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see how the race works out. I'm sure he'll jump positively and try and posse up as close as he can be.
Yes, well, good luck if you're on Sight Lover here. John Size has used his trump card for this 3-year-old by Snipperton. He did trial at Happy Valley back in the middle part of December. Things certainly didn't go to plan first up, but he's run pretty well, and he beaten 3/4 of a length at the end. So he's the favourite in front of No Ties with the blinkers on. Lots of money around for him. Alex Lyerboard. And he was close up behind Young Talent the last time he ran.
Valley, chic and cool.
There you go. I have to say I was a bit excited before the first one. I saw Rising Power at 40 to 1. I thought that's a nice price. Well, that's all gone now. That all up money. Now, Douglas fights back into the black in the Jockey Challenge. No points in the first. He's out to $2.30. Red Preble, $3.85. Bodo Rispoli has firmed a point down to 7. And Eddie Lai from Triple Figures is down to 12. We're 16 minutes away from the start here of the second, the Lambeth Handicap, and the runners going into the paddock. The two jackpots tonight in the 6-up and also the Triple Trio.
Yeah, interesting race, this one. Had he drawn the gate Sight Lover, I would imagine he'd be pretty short. He may well shorten up even more from this current quote. But it does make you sort of have another look, doesn't it, at what else he's competing against here. I mean, if he gets caught wide, I don't really want to be following him at the price. But Rising Power, well, I think a very interesting runner. His last couple have been all right, and he's down in grade now. He's, I think, in many respects, better suited to the 1200. So on that basis, I think you could probably make a case for him at odds.
Yeah, Rising Power. Actually, I don't mind the way that he's walked into the parade here, Clint. He's got a really good, healthy coat. He's very fit. He's nice and alert. And he's actually walking out pretty freely. Of course, he's got the class drop here tonight as well. So whilst he hasn't done too much in 4 runs, that class drop might just hold him in good stead. And I think he looks good for him. So I could consider him.
Well, the run when he finished 7th to Cape Canaveral back on the International Jockeys Night here, that run showed a fair bit of promise. Serendipity, he's drawn the 4 tonight. When he did win here quite a while back, he drew the rails. He's got down in class, and I don't know whether he'll win tonight, but I think he will pick one up sooner or later here.
Yeah, possibly. I just thought he couldn't have gone really an inch closer last time. He sort of saved the ground on the inside, and I thought that was probably as good as he could have gone. But he's got that class drop, so it's a touch easier for him. He doesn't do much for me on looks. He's a fairly plain type. He's a lightly framed individual. He's a poor walker, quiet enough, and he is fit. So there's a couple of positives, but more negatives for me on looks.
Well, the winner came out and won again, and was a pretty impressive winner that night. And I think with this drop in grade, he definitely comes into calculations. When he's won, he's pretty much box seated. He's got gate speed and he can utilise the gate. Impeccable, awkwardly drawn. He's run 4th at his last 2, both at Chartin. He comes back to the Valley, the scene of his only win over this distance. But I didn't like him tonight from the barrier.
Impeccable's another one that's a little bit on the plain side, but a terrific attitude, very quiet horse, and he does have a fair bit of strength about him, and he always tends to carry a little bit of condition. Walks out well enough. So I think he looks quite okay. I could probably leave him there as a place chance on looks.
Impeccable, yeah. Stuck out in the 12. Wait for another day. I think only a winner of one race from 31 starts, but if he's going to win one, I think he's going to need the draw and a bit to go in his favour. Number 4, Silver Dragon. He's drawn gate 11. You know, when you look at this race, there's not a real lot of speed in this, so I wonder if Purton will try and put him up on the speed like he did when he won back in October.
Silver Dragon, yeah, look, he can often grab my eye in the parade, this fellow. He's quite a nice athletic type of horse. He's got a couple of handlers on him here tonight. His coat's in really good health. He seems to be walking out fluently as he normally does. And I think he's got to be left there with a chance on looks. He's definitely very fit and well.
Look, he got the right run when he won, but since then he's run well in defeat. I think if they're positive from the barrier, he could be in the mix. And he's over the odds at the moment, number 4, Silver Dragon. I haven't got him in my selections. Barrier did put me off. I thought originally they'd go back, and they may well still do that. But if they go forward and he can get in, he's definitely in there with a chance. Flashing Guy, I mean, he's not... Look, he's no world beater. We know that. The side blinkers off, the blinkers back on. He's drawn gate 1. He'll position up well, and he'll be there. He'll look a chance at some stage. If he wins, well, it doesn't reflect much on the rest of them.
Yeah, he hasn't had too many excuses, but then again, he hasn't been finishing all that far away in his races either. So I quite like the way he's come into the yard. He normally does parade quite nicely. He's a nice, neat type of horse with good strength, and he does look fit and very healthy, and he's well behaved. So there's no problems with him. He still remains in good order.
I'd be really surprised if he won it. Flashing Guys coming a bit unreliable now these days. That was a pretty disappointing run by him the last time he went around here. Had the draw, got the run, and nothing. Here's the favourite, Sight Lover, 5-2, being trumped for the race. I think the draw is a real big concern in this, where he's going to land in the run. I think potentially, clearly, he's the best horse in this field, but he could be the best horse that gets caught 3 wide tonight and could have a tough trip.
Well, that would be a concern. So with this, if he was to lash out as well, highest to claim, but I think he's looking well, Sight Lover. He's a solid, nuggety type, this fellow. He's well enough behaved. He's got a couple of handlers on him, but he's been good throughout the parade here. I think he's one of these that's always going to carry a little bit of condition. He walks out terrific. So I think he looks in good order, and I think he'll run well.
Flying Elite. This horse has only had the 1 run. Wasn't a bad effort behind Country Charm. He's drawn gate 5. No market support tonight. Still don't know a lot about him, but he's... well, we'll see how he goes. He was given a quiet time in his only trial prior to his debut. It wasn't a bad trial either, so he might be one of interest.
Yeah, I didn't think he looked too bad last time I saw him. I was just slightly querying how he was walking in front. So that seems to be the case again here. He's just not totally fluent, and he just needs to loosen up a little bit in front. But he does look quite healthy in his coat. His attitude appears to be quite good, and he does look fit. So there's a few positives there.
Well, his highest to claim seems as though he runs better races here at the Valley. He gives the impression he wants further, but I guess it's all a learning curve for him at the moment, and he is getting relief in the handicap. But his barrier issues are a real concern. He's consistently slow out.
Yeah, look, he's a very nice type. He can be a little bit cheeky in the parade. He's every now and again just being on his toes. He's got a lot of strength about him. Nice horse to look at. I agree with you, Darren. I think the barriers are his issue. He's always slow out of the gate, so you know you're going to be on the back foot to start with. But if he doesn't miss it too bad, I would imagine he'll be running on late, and he's probably there with some chance. He's a very nice horse. It's hard to ignore him on looks.
No ties. I think Brett's making a bit of a case for this one, but he's nicely drawn, ran 4th to Young Talent last time out. It wasn't a bad effort in defeat, and he got a bit tight for room late on. So if he can reproduce that, he might be thereabouts.
Yeah, he's looking in pretty good order as well, and I think he is a horse that's on the improve. Doesn't appear to be too much wrong with him. He's just a little bit on his toes, but nicely so. And he's in good health as well, and he's nice and alert. The ears are pricked with him, and he does look fit. So he's got to be left there with a chance. Interesting that they've put the blinkers on him here.
Yes, that might be all it takes for no ties. Sort of slightly improving with each run. And a runner of interest, no ties. Spicy Shrimp, number 10. I think this will zip across and lead from barrier 10. At 25-1, he will give you bit of a cheeky sight in the lead.
Yeah, he just might be a little bit vulnerable from gate 10 if he does have to work just a little bit. But Spicy Shrimp, he knows his way around. He's a winner of 5 races. Always been a nice, neat type of horse. He's always been a pretty good walker as well. Looks good in his coat. A couple of handlers on him, always well enough behaved. He is bandaged in front these days, but he's always a 6-year-old. It seems like he's been around a bit longer than that. But he's looking well enough. I could leave him there with a place chance on looks.
Pretty big price, Spicy Shrimp. 25 to 1. I agree, Darren. I think they'll. I mean, he always goes forward, so it's just a matter of how hard he has to work. Star of Fame. Well, he ran second to Lucky Omens last time. He didn't exactly frank the form next time out, but he's nicely drawn. He's well handicapped, and he's a 5-time course and distance winner.
Yeah, he sort of finished not far from Bernard's Choice, so that was just my slight concern with that run last time. But he looks in good order. He still remains nice and fit and healthy and well behaved, walking out well enough as well. He's a 9-year-old, so age is getting to him at the moment, but he doesn't look bad by any means as a 9-year-old. He seems to be fluent enough in his walking action, so fit enough horse.
I think it's encouraging that he ran as well as he did last time at Sha Tin, when it's never really been his track. He loves the valley. He's drawn well. This is his course and distance. I think he's a genuine chance to win this tonight, Star of Fame. And finally, Sea Fury. Here's the rank outsider of the field. Blinkers on, having his 5th run.
Yeah, interesting that they've put the blinkers on him as well. Another lightweight that hasn't done much in 4 runs. He's only very small, this fellow, but I didn't mind him. I thought he looked really quite fit and quite okay. Just lacks a little bit in height and probably strength, but he's not bad. That's probably the best I've seen of him, so I'm not sure if he could improve. He hasn't done much to date, but not bad, fit.
I think he looks useless, so I'm not interested. They put the blinkers on. I don't think it'll make any difference. He just hasn't done anything to this point in time. Comes to the valley. Hopefully for connections he can show a little bit more tonight with the gear change, but I think it's looking rather grim for them at this point in time. Okay, race favourite here is number 6, Sight Lover. He's been, steady in the market. Hasn't really come in yet. Around 3.5, just ahead of number 9, No Ties at 5, but he actually is the place favourite at the moment. So that's the situation. 6 minutes till the start of the second. Let's get Jenny's picks from the paddock.
Okay, on top for me is the top weight, number 1. I thought Rising Power paraded really quite well here. He's dropping down a class as well, so perhaps that gives him an opportunity of going a little better. If you go on his run, I think it was 2 back over the 1200 here at Happy Valley. Lived up to that. He's probably there with the chance anyway. So looking good. He was just nice on his toes as he was going out. Number 4 I thought was next best, Silver Dragon, certainly looking well. He always does, so nothing unusual about that. Definitely athletic and fit enough. Awkwardly drawn though in gate 11. Number 6, I thought Sight Lover has to be included. He's got a lot of strength, particularly in those hind quarters. And I think that first up run was pretty good. He's going to need some luck from gate 9 though. And then I thought number 9, No Ties, was probably the next best as far as looks are concerned. Quite a nice horse, this fellow. He's a good walker, and he looked fit and well. So he goes in. He's got the blinkers being applied for the first time as well. Of the rest, I thought the 8, Highest Acclaim, was probably the next best as far as looks were concerned. And Flashing Guy wasn't too far out of it either, if you like those. So 1, 4, 6 and 9.
1, 4, 6 and 9. Rising Power, who there was I think a few $100,000 roll up for ahead of Silver Dragon, Sight Lover and No Ties. There's Serendipity's record over the course and distance, which reads reasonable, and down in grade today he has been kept safe in the market. He went out 30 to 1 last time, hundreds before that, and then about 45 to 1, so 6 to 1 chance with the drop in grade tonight. All right, Brett, what did you like here in the second?
Yeah, I'm pretty interested in him, Clint, Serendipity, but I've gone with one ahead of him in No Ties. I thought his third behind Solar Grade 3 back at Sha Tin was a decent enough run. Suggested to me that the horse might just be coming to a little bit of form, and then he went around at Sha Tin at his next start over 1400, had a tough trip and pulled up with mucus, so there was an excuse there. His run last start here at Happy Valley I thought was very good behind Young Talent, and he was balked for a run about 50. I think he probably should have run perhaps second, maybe third, and eventually finished 4th, but he was tight for room. I'm giving him another chance here with the blinkers on. So 9, No Ties on top of number 2, Serendipity, who is interesting down in this class now. He's won 2 races in his career, both in this class, both this course and distance. Deleuze rides for the first time. Number 11, Star of Fame. His last 2 runs have been good. He drew barrier 12-2 back when 6th behind Tomodachi. Much better drawn tonight in barrier number 3. I think the old boy can run a decent race. And number 6, Sight Lover. Looks to be a horse that's got some ability, drawn a little bit awkwardly, but I'm sure Douglas White will push on from that gate, get him up on the pace, and hopefully keep him out of trouble from there on. 9, 2, 11, 6 runners down at the start for our second over 1,200.
Thanks, Brett. I've gone with a 9-year-old Star of Fame. I think he might be good enough to win this. We'll go close anyhow. You can have an each-way bet on him there. To beat the favourite Sight Lover, I'm very concerned where this will end up. If he gets the right run, I think he wins Sight Lover. But from barrier 9, 1,200 metres start here, it's never easy. Rising Power, good price, good run, 2 starts back. And number 10, Spicy Shrimp, I think this will scoot across for Ben So and take the running. And he might just stick around a bit tonight. 11 on top from 6, 1 and 10.
I think you were spot on with what you said just a moment ago with Sight Lover. If he gets the right run, he will win. I think that is the key. And it's just a matter of does Douglas, well, I think he'll have to go forward on him. I mean, he showed a bit of speed there last time out. And if he doesn't, if he's not positive out of the gates, I don't think he can win. But I think he's got enough speed to probably cross these. I thought it was a race where there wasn't a great deal of speed. But I've got Serendipity on top. He's going to be confirmed the right run down in grade. He could go pretty close. So 2 to beat 6. Obviously, 6 looks the most progressive galloper in the race. I think Flashing Guy's going to be there or thereabouts. He'll get the right run. And Highest Acclaim, similarly from gate 2, should just be on the back of them. And his Sha-Tin run last time was disappointing when Night Pine Rewarding Hero, but prior to that, his length and half pine D-Day Super was acceptable. So a couple of the other odds. I mean, Rising Power did look at a big price before the roll-up, and I think Silver Dragon, tactically, I'm not sure what they'll do with him. I mean, if they do go forward, he's another one that has been running really well. They've been sort of going back from the gates the last 2 times they've drawn gate 10, so they might just chance their arm a little bit tonight and go forward. And if that's the case, I think he puts himself in the race. I mean, at the end of the day, drawn just inside him is Spicy Shrimp, so there is that option there. He could probably follow him across Silver Dragon, and he could be one at a little bit of value for Zach Purton. Jockey Challenge, well, Douglas White was odds on before the start. Watch First failed to run a place, and he's out to 220. Preble didn't pick any points up on Solar Wonder, and I thought it was a key race for both of them tonight, and neither one of them picked up points. I think it's opened it right up. We did suggest Rispoli might be a bit of value, and Umberto's down to 7. But Umberto still, I think, got some chances. Of course, he's on Darren's tip here in Star of Fame. So if he can add to his tally, he certainly gets right into it. But the favourite here remains number 6, Sight Lover. The red light is flashing. Let's go upstairs to Brett Davis.
Thanks, Clint. Yes, this is the second of the night. The Lambeth Handicap Race 2, Class 4, 1,200 metres. And runners are now being loaded into the gates. The favourite, Sight Lover, having his second start in a race, his first start here in Happy Valley, 3.5, and even money a place, 4.9 for No Ties, 7.4 Serendipity down in class. He's won 2 races, Serendipity, both this course and distance, both this grade, and from memory, both wins came when he drew well. That's the case again tonight. And Highest Acclaim is at 5.6. Has given the impression that he wants a little further Highest Acclaim, but he's in the market tonight. Now, Sight Lover to come up with No Ties, and they'll be set for a start here for race 2. 1,200 metres for the second. First one by number 1. Race 1, number 1, Mizzen Grey. This is race 2. Racing now. No Ties pushed early along with Serendipity, Flashing Guy, Sea Fury, Sight Lover. Good Mad Charge through the first turn. Spicy Shrimp even deeper. It's Sea Fury leading one off from Flashing Guy, who burrows through now to join him. Spicy Shrimp out very wide. Sight Lover can sneak now into the 1 by 1 on the outside of Serendipity. 2 back, Star of Fame, No Ties. They're in good trailing positions. Another 2 to Highest Acclaim, Flying Elite. 3 away, Impeccable, Rising Power and Silver Dragon last. 600 metres out Flashing Guy, 3 parts Sea Fury. Spicy Shrimp off the course. Serendipity's had a lovely run. Sight Lover likewise. Star of Fame tracks up, no ties, highest acclaim. Only 5 off them as they approach the bend. Flying Elite, Rising Power has it all to do with Impeccable and the Grey Silver Dragon into the straight. Flashing Guy booted clear. Let Serendipity out. Spicy Shrimp gone. Star of Fame darting back to the inside. Highest acclaim. Sight Lover's beaten. He's dropping off, but it's in front. Flashing Guy. Highest acclaim letting down. No Ties comes with him. Highest acclaim. No Ties darting through late Silver Dragon. It's highest acclaim's night tonight. Highest acclaim from No Ties. Silver Dragon ran on to take third, just ahead of Star of Fame and Flying Elite. And then Impeccable, Rising Power, Flashing Guy, Serendipity. Well, Sight Lover's only beaten a couple home. Spicy Shrimp and Sea Fury last. Highest acclaim for Preble over No Ties. Alex Lyon, Silver Dragon, Zach Purton. Well, it was his 6th start tonight, highest acclaim. And he's always been hitting the line well, just giving the impression that he wanted a fraction further. Casper Founds has kept him at the 1200 and now extends his lead in the Trainers' Championship. Casper Founds, the winning trainer of highest acclaim, a 4-year-old ASG by acclamation out of Carpet Lady. Brett Preble, the winning rider. 9 No Ties second. Danny Shum, Alex Lyon. Silver Dragon will run third. Me Choi, Zach Purton. 8-9-4, standing by for third officially. 1:10.55, a smidgen outside of standard. This is race 2. Racing now. No Ties pushed early along with Serendipity, Flashing Guy, Sea Fury, Sight Lover, Good Mad Charge through the first turn, Spicy Shrimp even deeper. It's Sea Fury leading one off from Flashing Guy who burrows through now to join him. Spicy Shrimp out very wide. Sight Lover can sneak now into the 1x1 on the outside of Serendipity. 2 back Star of Fame, No Ties. They're in good trailing positions. Another 2 to highest acclaim, Flying Elite. 3 away Impeccable, Rising Power and Silver Dragon last. 600 metres out, Flashing Guy, 3 parts Sea Fury. Spicy Shrimp off the course. Serendipity's had a lovely run. Sight Lover likewise. Star of Fame tracks up, No Ties, highest acclaim. Only 5 off them as they approach the bend. Flying Elite, Rising Power has it all to do with Impeccable and the Grey Silver Dragon into the straight. Flashing Guy booted clear. Let Serendipity out. Spicy Shrimp gone. Star of Fame darting back to the inside. Highest acclaim. Sight Lover's beaten. He's dropping off, but it's in front. Flashing Guy. Highest acclaim letting down. No Ties comes with him. Highest acclaim. No Ties darting through late Silver Dragon. It's highest acclaim's night tonight. Highest acclaim from No Ties.
Done. And he was back late as well. There's a photo for third. Zach Purton picking up third on Silver Dragon.
Yeah, Star of Fame getting bought for a run a bit, trying to get underneath the Flashing Guy, and Flying Elite having a checkered passage in the straight. He was slow out again as always, highest acclaim, but he got the perfect runs in the straight. He's been threatening a while to do that, highest acclaim. And if you've been following him, you certainly haven't been rewarded with a great price, with any price the winner. 43 the win, 17.50 the place. No Ties 21, Silver Dragon 29.50, the Quinella 202.50, the Tiers 2,863 and the Trio 686. Well, the favourite worked a bit in the first 200 or 300 metres, Sight Lover, but White quickly snagged back and dropped in. He was one of the first horses beaten, Sight Lover, turning for home.
Quite a disappointing effort, as you say. You know, he did work a little bit in the early stages, but he still finished well back, as it turned out.